Hello, everybody. The UI guy is back to talk about the absolute insanity that has happened in court today. We're going to be talking about the juror reactions to the testimony. We're going to be talking about the lawyer reactions to the testimony. I will tell you right now, let me preface it by saying I have never written so much, so fast, so quickly in such a short period of time in my entire life. I have pages upon pages of notes in just 3 hours. I think I have more notes today in the 3 hours that I was in there than I have had in a very long time, even on full days. So let's get started. It's very interesting because in the very beginning, Amber Heard. So we basically, everybody knew, right, that she's going to be taking the stand today. Today is the end for Johnny Depp's team and the beginning of the sur rebuttal, or putting on their own rebuttal witnesses for the defense. Well, right before court starts, right as the judge walks in, Amber Heard turns around and gives the entire LawTube community and the crew a very condescending glance. Like, she's extremely unhappy. Like, she's visibly showing how unhappy she is as the judge walks into the courtroom. And as I tweeted, no fuck me eyes this time around. Because it's true. In the very beginning, when she first met me, Ian, Rob, she was giving us those fuck me eyes with a very, very fake smile. I mean, I think maybe it's because we sat on the Amber's side, not on Johnny's side. Maybe she suspected that we are kind of like, three men in a sea of women sitting on her side, well dressed. She's like, three new potential sugar daddies. So I don't know. Maybe that was going through her mind. I have no idea. But it has definitely shifted since then, and she is no longer in any way, shape, or form interested in looking at us salivatingly. Now, the plaintiff still has witnesses sitting in the front row in the very beginning, right as the trial starts. And so we already know, like, as an attorney, you kind of learn the layout of the land, and you realize, okay, so the plaintiff, Johnny, still has some witnesses, right? So they call, as the jury walks in, I noticed that number 4 is looking as lovely as always. And I found it interesting, by the way. I never really have seen this before. But the clerk swears in the witness, not the judge. Like in Kentucky, the judge is the one who always swears in witnesses. I'm not sure why the discrepancy. I'm not 100% in tune. Yeah, they're back in the courtroom, but I'm not too worried about it because they're not doing whatchamacallit. They're not doing anything valuable. Right now, they're simply going to be going over motions and exhibits. It is actually going to be, jury instructions. It is boring stuff. I'm here to give you guys the juice on what on earth happened today, because that's the interesting stuff. Yeah, that's what I wrote. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I caught that too. I was like, oh my, okay, stop saying court is back on. All right. I'm seriously about to pin. I know court is back on. Relax. I'm not going back, for the love of Christ. Like I said, I know a lot of you are here. Let me just pin this real quick so that people leave me alone. I know court is back on. I am not going. Send in. Okay. So hopefully anybody who comes in can look at the pinned comment and realize I don't care. All right. So let's get back into it. So, courtroom is going to be boring stuff. They're just going to be arguing jury instructions. So on Gilbert, right? So Gilbert takes the stand. He's another orthopedic surgeon. as soon as he takes the stand, and I find this interesting that, to give insight into the jurors' minds, over time, you start to develop an idea of where they're headed based on their collective reaction. So the more data you have, the better of an assessment you can make. Like, for instance, if one side, anytime they put on witnesses and you see the jurors scribbling down information every time that side puts on a witness, and then when the other side puts on a witness of the same type of arena, or just puts on any witness whatsoever, and the jurors are not seen writing stuff down, that at least hints at the fact that they may not be as interested. They may not find the testimony as valuable. I'm going to take this ring off. I'm going to be playing with it too much. They don't find the testimony as valuable. So there's a lot of stuff here. Oh, Runkle's got it covered. There we go. Perfect. So, mail got dropped off. What's his name? James is going to be coming in hopefully soon with some food. He's got us covered. Thank you very much, James. You're the fucking man. Shout out to Jamie, who held us places in line once again, and thank you for the food. And I'm going to be reading super chats later, so be mindful of that. So the surgeon takes the stand. Gilbert takes the stand. And I've noticed, by the way, now we're probably not going to get a chance to see this today because there is no more jury. There is no more testimony. Testimony's over. Nobody's really going to be in that courtroom because they're there to see, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. It's just the lawyers that are going to be arguing instructions and stuff. Whitney Heard has a certain pattern, and I don't know why she's doing it. So, like, in the morning, her hair is down. In the afternoon, she puts her hair up in a bun. And I've been talking to Vanessa about this. She's the one who pointed it out. And I'm like, why does she do that? Does she crave and want to be talked about? Is that why she's doing it? We're going to see if this pattern repeats. I was going to say tonight or this afternoon or after I tweet this, which I never got a chance to tweet because I never got to that point. Today has moved, like I said, extremely fast. But I've noticed that she'll have her hair down. People will slam her. And then she'll come back with hair in a bun, and everybody, it's chatter. They're after like this attention. And when you're in this, you're not a celebrity, but you're attached to I don't know, what do you call Amber Heard? A D-list celebrity? I mean, that's too kind for her. I don't know what to call Amber. She's an F-list. If I'm a Z-list celebrity, she's an X-list celebrity. How about that? We'll call her an X-list celebrity. So I'm just a couple notches below her, I guess if you want to think about it that way. That's how low on the totem pole I consider her and me. We're both low. So Whitney is kind of like an accessory, exactly, Sheila. Whitney is like an accessory to. Yes, I've received like 1 billion messages, so just give me time, Cartman's mom. Anyway, I don't know. So Whitney being like an accessory to this charade, because that's all I can call it at this point. Maybe I should modify. I have it set on members only because I thought it was going to be like a lot more people. But because it's not, I'm going to change it to subscribers only. And we're going to make it 5 minutes to avoid the bots. So here you go, guys. I think it's getting... Long hair gets hot. Oops. Okay. Well, that's an interesting point. As a person with long hair, it's okay. Maybe the reason for the bun, but I don't know. It also screams like, okay, here we go, freedom. Everybody's like, yay. Okay, so all subscribers, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm going to continue this commentary. We have so much to go through, so much stuff. So we're going to get through it. What I want to capitalize on, of course, is the jurors' reactions, like I said, and breaking you guys out of jail. Because last time we had like 30,000 people, and if it gets too crazy, now, do I have any mods in the chat? I definitely need some mods, and we just need to make sure. because it's gonna get crazy. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Breaking you guys out of jail. You guys are hilarious. I love it. Um, let's see. Let's see. I don't see any mods. Does anybody see any mods? I don't see any wrenches at all. I don't like this. Hey, you guys. Welcome, everybody. We're going to keep this going. I just need to adjust a few things. I apologize for the inconvenience. I don't have anybody to help me with this. It's just me. If it gets too crazy, then I'm going to slow chat down as well. Can I explain jury instructions? No. I'm here to give you guys the juice. I'm here to give you guys the real shit. I don't care about the jury instructions. Jury instructions I can analyze later, or somebody else will be doing them for you. I'm here to give you the inside dirty details of everything you don't know and have not seen and cannot possibly lay your eyes on, because I'm the only person, well, that has this particular capability. I mean, being a lawyer, like Ian is in the same boat. Ian, as a lawyer and a YouTube commentator, we're in a very unique position to be able to provide you this input of seeing the jurors' reactions, tying it to the testimony, and giving you like a well-rounded answer that I don't think any reporter in the universe is going to be able to give. And very, very few people go to law school and then become a reporter. I know in my law school class of 144 people, one person did that. So, all right, let's get back into it. I wrote in my notes that the young man who was directing Gilbert, I very much liked him. And the reason I liked him is because he's Johnny's lawyer. He seems like he knows how to do a good job on direct. I mean, I've noticed there's a very stark discrepancy, not just with the older lawyers, but also the younger lawyers on both sides. Even the younger lawyers on Johnny Depp's side are kind of like, they're higher caliber. They seem sharper. They appear more prepared, better attuned. Like, tell me one moment in the entire trial when one of the what you call them lawyers on Johnny Depp's side at any given moment said, "Hey, I don't remember what I just asked," or "I don't remember my question." That never happened. So I just wrote, let's see how he does on cross and redirect. And because he's doing a great job on direct. And even Camille Vasquez, I think I'm going to get to this in a moment, after he sat down, after he finished his direct examination of Gilbert, Camille just kind of looked at him and like was like, "Good job," kind of thing, supporting her comrade. All jurors are listening very intently to the ortho. I mean, they were captivated. Now, number 5 this morning, maybe 14, 15 minutes in, juror number 5 was staring me down pretty intently this morning. And I looked away, like when she was giving me the glare, you know, the, like, I know you've been in this courtroom before stare. I kind of looked away and I looked back and she's still looking, and I look away and I look back and she's still looking. I did that several times to make sure, she's looking at me, and I caught her gaze. So she was locked on me. She definitely remembers me from previous days inside that courtroom, probably like number 8 the other day, wondering who the hell I am, why am I here, and what's my purpose. When they testify that the bottle exploded, when he testifies that the bottle exploded, number 2 scratches his head and chin. I just noticed that. Number 2, by the way, is going to be a theme in this trial, in this recap. Juror number 2 is definitely thematic, because juror number 2 has been, I mean, he's unique. He's a very unique character, and I think we're going to know more after the trial is over, but not as much as we would like, because I certainly believe that, well, because of the order, right? You guys heard about the order locking the jurors' testimony, the jurors' identities for at least a year after this trial is over. I think it's a terrible call. I understand why the judge is doing it, because of all this publicity, obviously. But there's a little chipmunk on the on the patio. He's so cute. I just want to grab him and pet him. Um, so it's very. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think it should not have been done this way. I think what Amber Heard is afraid of. Why did Amber Heard make the motion? By the way, why did Amber Heard make the motion to lock basically the jurors' names and so that people can't reach out to them? Why? So people can't reach out to them because they're gonna cry wolf. Like Amber is full of shit. She completely botched this whole fucking thing, and she, she completely fucking sucks, and she's a liar and a scumbag, and using this for her own her own gain and publicity and all this garbage. And yeah, it's she doesn't want her reputation smeared, which it already is. I mean, I'm sure she already knows, but she doesn't want it to go to the x x to the nth degree, or whatever it is, to the nth degree, because once the jury starts speaking about their honest thoughts of sitting there for 6 weeks, they're going to be, some of them might say, like, I was getting ready to vomit. But a year passes, they don't remember the stuff as well anymore. It's a very, very sneaky psychological trick, because after a year, the jurors are going to be like, I don't remember. It sucked. We didn't believe her. Go away. I don't want to give an interview, So it's a power move, and it's a smart move on behalf of Amber and her team, and it sucks for the rest of us and the rest of the world. So whatever, it is what it is. Now, remember how I said number 5 confuses the shit out of me? Number 5 continued to confuse the shit out of me today as well. She was listening to Gilbert with piqued interest, and number 2 and number 8 nod slightly. Number 2 is seen writing stuff down. Remember I told you 2 is going to keep appearing? Yeah, keep watching. By the way, I noticed one of the bodyguards has a skull ring on his right hand's ring finger. I know he's a bodyguard, so it's kind of like, it kind of goes with the image, right? Goes with the territory. When she said she wrote the op-ed, yeah, we'll get to that. Number 2 is very attentive when Gilbert starts testifying about the whole direction of the injury, right? Because, like, the question, I think, was, can you figure out which direction the bottle came from to cause the injuries sustained by Johnny Depp? And number 2 was very attentive to that testimony. Now, when Gilbert testifies that there was no glass, well, the question was, there was no glass found in Johnny Depp's finger, right? And the question was, is it common? And Gilbert says, yes, it is. It is a common occurrence to not find glass in an injured hand. Number 5 rubs her eye. Number 1 begins writing. Number 9 is listening very intently. And meanwhile, also number 5 is seen scanning the room. So here it is. After our young attorney sits down, Camille Vasquez congratulates her comrade on a job well done with a smile as he sits down. So you can definitely see. Yeah, court is back on. Read the, I guess it'll be right over here. Read the pinned chat, please. Read the pinned chat. Okay, motions. Yes, I know. We will address that, by the way. I'm not going to call out what it is. We will address that later. So number 2 is, okay, sorry, I lost my place. Now, cross-examination. All right, cross-examination of Gilbert right out of the gate. As soon as whoever was Rottenborn or Elaine, I can't remember, I really don't care. I think it was Rottenborn. As soon as Rottenborn gets up there, starts questioning Gilbert on the stand, number 2, like, immediately, just his face changes. I know it's very minute, but like when you sit there long enough, you start to learn these people's patterns, and this was like my 6th day in there collectively. I was there Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? So 6th day. On the 6th day, I noticed number 2 just looks very disinterested. I don't know how else to describe it. That's just what I've noticed. It's my own personal impression. It may mean absolutely nothing, but that's what I saw. Because he starts during Gilbert's direct, he was looking at him, he was paying attention, and then on cross, he just looks at the floor and starts looking down. Like he appears bored. The more the cross continues of Gilbert, the more bored number 2 looks. That's just my impression, right? Take from it what you will. During the reading of the deposition by Rottenborn, number 2 even purses his lips. It's almost like kind of like an and. And number 3 is playing eye ping pong, or as I called it, eye pong between Rottenborn and the witness. I mean, he's literally just like, especially when they went rapid fire there for a minute, it was like question, question, answer, question, answer. And it was not just his eyes. Sorry, it was his whole head. He was like, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. I'm like, dude, you do realize that your eyes move too. You don't need to move your entire neck. I don't understand why you're... Anyway, he's young. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't know that his eyes also move in both directions, not just his entire head. So he can rest his neck, at least for a little bit. But anyway, that's just me. Now, number 2, again, I told you, he's going to keep coming up. Number 2 starts reviewing old notes during the back and forth cross between Rottenborn and Gilbert. That was kind of astonishing. It's like he's so bored. He's like, wait, what was there yesterday? What was the testimony the day before? I don't know what he was doing, but he was clearly flipping through pages. That you could not miss. And Vanessa notices, this is kind of a funny thing, that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are both matching today. They're both wearing the same colors. I don't know. Hashtag felt cute. Might change in the back later so I don't match my fucking ex. Yeah, I put it on extremely slow mode because we are going to have thousands of people in here, Tabby's daddy. Justice for DUI guy? Oh, Lord. Come on. Are you serious? Copper Grasshopper, please don't tell me this is a real thing. Seriously? Where is this coming from? I hate the fact okay, so... Oh my God. Do you guys seriously want to address the Legal Bites drama? No, please don't tell me this is real. I know I know she banned me. She fucking sent me a tweet. I know she banned me. Okay, all right. Cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag. All right. I'm done. If it's already a thing, I might as well call it out because I didn't want to. Why would she do? I don't understand. Okay. All right. We're doing this. We're going to address the drama just real quick so that we can leave it and forget about it. God, I hate doing this kind of shit. I really hate it. This is the tweet that I was sent by Legal Bites. And I'm going to make it bigger so you guys can see. That's better. This is what she wrote. She wrote, "Hey, I'm really sorry to have to do this, but I'm going to need to ask you and James." She didn't mention anything about Scott or Vanessa. I'm not sure why we're the only two included here because Scott had the same reaction. Vanessa, I don't remember. I think she was hidden by Camille's head. I think. I can't remember. Again, I haven't really analyzed it. I've been too busy. I haven't analyzed the image and the stuff coming after it. I've seen some of the TikToks, though. By the way, did you know? Well, we'll get to it. Well, actually, I'll say it right now. If you look at some of the TikToks that have the reactions of both, um, of both, actually, was it all three? Camille Vasquez, Ben Chu, and Johnny Depp all laughed. All laughed. So this is what she wrote. Hey, I'm really sorry to have to do this, but I'm going to need to ask you and James not to come onto the live stream after court today. So that was yesterday, right? That was yesterday. This is not today. I'm happy to discuss at a different time the specifics. So right now she has no justification, but I am seeing things like big faces being made in the courtroom. You mean our natural reactions to a fucking nuclear bomb that exploded in the middle of court during testimony that completely shattered a lane live in front of billions of people? Is that what you're talking? Like the big faces that our natural reactions faces? Is that what you're referring to? And some questionable tweets with photos. I think she's referring to Whitney Heard overhearing our conversations. Talk to Vanessa, talk to James, talk to Scott, or talk to myself, and all four of us will confirm that Whitney has been turning her head trying to listen to the things that we have been saying because she's in close proximity to us. And there is a 100% chance that we were within earshot, especially when we were whispering just above inaudible levels. Okay? So before you start throwing accusations around, please confirm your facts. That is all I'm asking you. All right, Legal Bites? There's a reason I can't remember your name, and I think I'm starting to learn why. Some questionable tweets with photos that I'm hearing are raising. Okay, now this, up until this point, I was like, all right, whatever. I understand. I get it. Some questionable tweets with photos that I'm hearing. Up until this point, I was like, you know what? All right. People are upset. She doesn't want us on her stream. Logical. Now here it takes a turn. And I'd like to know her sources, by the way. I'd like to know the information where she got this information from. And I will get to some facts rather than speculation, okay? Concerned by courthouse staff. I'm hearing are raising concerns. I'm sorry, I lost my place. I apologize. Some questionable tweets with photos that I am hearing. Objection, hearsay. From whom? You didn't say from. Can you please enlighten me? Can you please tell me who you're hearing this from? Because I have not heard this. I have passed by probably about 25 sheriff's deputies this morning, 5 clerks, other courtroom employees, the stenographer who stopped to talk to me for like 15 minutes that almost made her late to court. Not a single person was like, excuse me, Mr. Forman, aka DUI guy, you are not permitted in the courtroom today. Some issues have been... The entire courthouse was completely silent on the issue. I know because I was there. So I'm hearing are raising some serious concern by the court staff. I would like to hear some names because I have not heard a single name from a single court staff person. By the way, I hate to do this. Just so you know, I hate that I have to do this right now. Why did you do this? That's what I want to know. And I have to clear the air so that the public is aware of the facts, okay? I'm literally shaking right now. I wanted to talk about the trial, not this crap. I'm hearing raising some serious concern by the court staff that I'm concerned that people might draw an inference that I'm somehow directing these things for views. Directing what for views? Having us on? I don't know. Again, I'm really sorry, all right? But at least for today, we're going to need to do without in-court perspective. Hey, Liberty. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to make of it. Like I said, we were there in the flesh. You saw us on camera. I have literally proof. Joe said I'm welcome. I really appreciate that. I don't understand. I don't understand. Is this a publicity stunt? Is she trying to gain viewers? Because right now, apparently, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that that they're unsubscribing from her channel because of this. I'm not asking you guys to do that. You don't have to do that. Like, she's still a person. Let her grow her channel. Let her thrive. I'm not here to step on toes. I'm not here to try and bring anyone down. You don't need to go unsubscribe to her. You don't have to do that. I'm just saying I wanted that I wanted to clear the air. I did not want to share this. I shared this with one other law tuber, and I personally asked them yesterday, please do not share this. And as far as I know, they didn't. As far as I know, they didn't. I am doing it now just to clear the air. Okay, can we go back to business, please? Can we go back? I'm done with this. Thank you. Never in my life have I thought we're going to have drama in the middle of like the biggest trial of the fucking century. You're going to start throwing shade with with accusations with no substantiation. I mean, I literally just disproved what you said. Issues with the courthouse staff, where were they? Nobody kicked us out today. We sat in our same seats. So, moving on. Where the hell was I? So Vanessa notices that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard matched today, and she says felt cute, might change in the back later. I said that. Number one looks really puzzled by Rottenborn's deposition cross. This is minute 9:29 this morning during court. All right, so we're back to court stuff. Juror number 9 looks very puzzled by Rottenborn's cross of the Depp. So when he calls out, you remember you testified in this trial and you said this and that. Usually it's used for impeachment purposes. What you're trying to do, you're trying to show that the witness is not credible. And the way you do that is by presenting contradictory statements. Now, number 9 appears to be more interested in what is going on in the gallery. But number 1 is writing stuff down during the cross-examination. I've noticed that the young attorney did not object to anything that Rottenborn was saying. And I don't think any objections were needed. So I think he did a great job. He didn't throw any useless objections. You know, to know when not to object is just as equally as good and important as to know when to object. So keep that in mind. On redirect, juror number 8 begins nodding slightly. I mean, if that's not a giveaway as to what she's thinking, she's nodding slightly again. However, she was not nodding during cross-examination, and she's writing now, and she was not writing during cross-examination. So let me repeat that because it may be a little confusing. So on direct, she's nodding. Number 8 is nodding at Gilbert and writing stuff down. On cross, she's not nodding, not writing stuff down. On redirect, she's back to nodding and writing stuff down. You see a pattern? Gilbert concludes, plaintiff rests. Defendant's surrebuttal. I know it's a fancy word, but it's basically the response to the rebuttal made by the plaintiff. Now, the defense has a chance to do their own rebuttal. Okay, so that's called the surrebuttal. S-U-R-R, not S-I-R. I know people have been asking. Surrebuttals. S-U-R-R rebuttal. During the bench conference, numbers 2, 8, and 9 continuously scan the room. Number 5 appears to review older notes. Number 7 rubs his eyes. Number 8 rubs his face. They all seem exhausted, you guys. There was like a totally different vibe in the room. So, yeah, surrebuttal, not S-I-R. Exactly, Hugh Mad Bro. So during the sidebar, number 8, this, I think Vanessa found that out. She noticed that and she passed that information on to me. Excuse me. During the sidebar, number 8 smiled at Johnny Depp. I didn't see it. Vanessa said she saw it. Oops. Sorry about that, you guys. I accidentally clicked a button I wasn't supposed to click. Number 8, juror number 8, on surrebuttal. I'm sorry, during the bench conference, I clicked a button. Juror number 8 looks at Johnny Depp and smiles at him. I mean, if that is not an indicator of what her mindset is, where it lies, I don't know what is, you guys. I literally don't know what is. Because you got to understand, human emotion, is a natural thing. So when you have a juror that's been listening to 6 bloody weeks of testimony, I don't know if he smiled back. Honestly, I didn't check. But what I noticed is that the fact that happened, the fact that she did that, juror number 8, that is just phenomenal, you guys. It is absolutely phenomenal for Johnny's case. That means that there is at least 1 out of 9 jurors, and we'll get to some more here in a minute. It means 1 out of 9 are basically on his side. Now, we don't know how much they're on his side. If you saw my tweet, let me just show you real quick. I want to show you guys, because I tweeted about this earlier today, and I think it's very important for everybody to know my personal assessment and the world's assessment of this case. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me share screen, share tab, Twitter, share. All right, can you guys see this? Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in. I want to show you what I predict and then what the world is saying. Okay, so check this out. I posted this an hour ago. I said, I'm calling it right now. It's over. Amber Heard lost. I stand by it. I know some of you have heard me say some opinions on other channels like Nick's channel, and my opinion changed, I think, yesterday. I think yesterday or the day before. I can't remember exactly. I have it in my notes, and I think I tweeted about it. I'm calling it right now. It's over. Amber Heard lost. My prediction. Oh, sorry, it cut off how many times it's been shared. Here we go. Well, let's do this first. Let's do this tweet first. I'm calling it right now. It's over. Amber Heard lost. My prediction. Johnny Depp has an 80% chance of getting $7 million. That's basically what I'm thinking. The reason $7 million is because 7 million is, you know, what he lost in the divorce. That's what he had to pay Amber. I know you guys keep saying, like, what about taxes? What about interest? What about all of that is irrelevant. Jurors are going to be, there was no testimony about taxes or interest during this trial. So the jurors are basically simply going to be giving Johnny what is rightfully his, no extra interest included. So he has, in my opinion, this is my opinion, this is not some expert or some article. This is literally the DUI guy inside my own head. This is where I got this information based on the data that I have received sitting in that courtroom for 6 almost consecutive days, 2 and then 4 consecutive. He has an 80% chance of getting $7 million, basically the divorce settlement back. 50% chance of getting $14 million if they're going to be like, let's give you the 7 plus 7, or I know a lot of people are talking about 14. He's got about a 25% chance of getting 25 million or more because of the blockbuster movie. If the jury determines, look, if they say that, let's say, since he makes 20 to 25 million per picture, Fantastic Beasts 3 just came out, and the jury, I think, knows that. Oh, wait, by the way, when did Fantastic Beasts 3 come out? I'll come back to the jury reactions. Give me a second, okay? I'm going on this for a minute. Snake bites. Oh my God, you guys. Stop it. 25% chance of getting 25 million or more. Fantastic Beasts was released a few months ago. In my humble opinion, the chat timer is a tad too long. Well, I don't know. For 14,000 people, I think it's pretty good. Mid-April. So they were already in trial, were they? They were already in trial. April 8th. April 8th. When did the trial start? When was the first day of? Wait, no. When was the first day of the trial? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 weeks before, right? It started on April 18th. April 22nd, April 18th, April 22nd, April 8th. Okay, April 8th. That's perfect. Okay, so if the jury knows, if at least one juror is like, Fantastic Beasts came out and Johnny Depp is not in it, that is going to be a huge determining factor as to whether or not he can get 25 million or more. That's why I'm only putting 25% chance on it. But if they're like, oh, he gets 25 million per picture, he did not appear in Fantastic Beasts 3, which means he did not get paid, and this is a result of Amber Heard's doing, right? They got to connect all those dots, and he would have received 20 to 25 million. They have to believe that testimony. You see how many ifs they have to jump through? That's why I'm putting it at 25%, because it's kind of like a chain reaction. It's not an immediate boom. Here you go. So if they believe all of those things, and at least one of them knows, if not all of them, that Fantastic Beasts 3 is devoid of Johnny and he would have made that money, they're going to award 25 million or more. That's why I'm putting it at 25%. And there's I didn't want to put it at 0 because it's never 0, but there's a 1% chance that they'll go, you know what, dude? She really fucked you up real bad. She really banged you up. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to be... Wait, he got paid for Fantastic Beasts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He did get paid? I'm so behind the times, you guys. I'm sorry. $10 million. Okay, well, I don't know. That's weird. But the movie, he wasn't in the movie, right? That's why it flopped. Anyway, whatever. If the jury's like, you know what, he got screwed out of at least one movie because of Amber Heard, and he would have made 20 to 25 million, then that's it. The jury will give him 25 million. So that's why I'm putting it at 25% chance. And finally, there's about a 1% chance that they're going to be like, you know what, she really roughed him up this bad. We should award every dollar and that he asked for. But that jurors are creatures of emotion, not even logic. They're creatures of emotion. And it's hard for me to emotionally as a person justify 7 people unanimously agreeing to give him the maximum amount? You got to remember, unanimity is very important here. This is why it's crucial. Okay. So finally, I decided to poll the public. I don't know when this was last updated, but there are already 26,864 votes in. And I wanted to see how much do you think Johnny Depp is going to get in this lawsuit. Now, of course, I had to include 0 in there. This is on the event that he loses. So if he loses, what is the public saying? And 10%, nearly 10% of the public is saying that he's going to get 0. Now, the next category is that $14 million figure. And $14 million, about 22.5%. So about a quarter, somewhere between a fifth and a quarter, said he's going to get 14 million. The next one is 31% said 30 plus. That's obviously includes the 50, the 40, so anything over 30. And 36%. So most people are kind of aligning with my logic, getting them divorce money back. 36% are saying 7 million. That's what's fair. That's what's just. That's what you lost. That's what you're going to get back. Okay? Enough said. Let's keep going. So yeah, number 8 is like my new favorite. She's been smiling. She always has been, and now even more. So she is seen smiling at Depp, according to Vanessa. Then Mr. Eckhart is called to the stand on surrebuttal by the defense. Have you guys seen the show Gargoyles? You guys remember that show? Will somebody please explain to me why does every single person on Amber Heard's team look like that? Every single person who testified on behalf of Amber Heard looks like that. Have you noticed that? I've noticed the pattern. Every single one, Dr. Heard, Dr. Spiegel, they all have that same gargoyle-ish look on their face. Like someone who, like, you know those statues of gargoyles that haven't been washed in like 3 weeks? 3 weeks. 3 years? 3 years. 3 decades? There we go. That's better. No offense to them, but that's what I think of when I think of all of her witnesses collectively. I wrote, why does Mr. Eckhart look like a used car salesman? That's another one. He looks like a used, him personally. I also noticed how very soft-spoken he is compared to the other witnesses that have been testifying in this trial. He's just so soft-spoken, it's very, very hard to hear him. Compare it to Johnny Depp's witnesses that are very confident and direct and polished and upright, and he's just kind of like a couple of times even like he does this on the stand. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? So he appears a lot less confident. Number 4, put her glasses back on. I have that note. Number 8 is writing stuff down. She's the only one writing stuff down when Eckhart is up there testifying. Camille smiles at Denison as his credentials are recited. Number 8 nods at him periodically too. So take from that what you will. Even on their own witness, right? The one that's supposed to help Amber Heard. Her camp appears tense during the testimony by Eckhart about the data. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp's camp appears extremely relaxed and very peaceful. Very peaceful. Number 7 is the only one writing stuff down at some point during his testimony. So number 7, at one point, number 8, I think, was the only one writing down, and then number 7 was the only one writing down. So they took turns. I guess they found something interesting. Hashing. When he starts talking about what is hashing and how it's used, number 8 is writing stuff down. Chu scratches his head. Number 2 looks bored. Number 1 looks interested. When he starts testifying about what is Photos 3.0, number 1 is writing stuff down, and number 2 is rubbing his eyes. Number 8 appears extremely disinterested in Eckhart, and is trying, as he's trying to discredit the expert from yesterday, the plaintiff's expert, Johnny Depp's expert. She scratches the back of her head, kind of cocking her head to the top right, like she kind of did one of these, like when he was trying to discredit yesterday's photo witness. Number 2 rubs his eyes again. Nobody is writing stuff down by 9:47 a.m. and he's been on the stand for a mere 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll show you guys the pen. I think it's, wait a minute, is it here? No, it's in my other suit. Hold on a second. I can show you guys the pen. You want to see the multicolored pen that I got from Chanley? I can show you the pen. Hold on. You want to see the pen? This is the pen. The multicolored pen. Remember I told you? It's got red, black, purple, and blue. I remember seeing these pens as a kid, but I've never really found a use for them until now that Chanley filled me in. That's the pen. That's the pen that she gave me. So kind of cool. Again, shout out to you, Chanley from Court TV. Chanley is the reporter for Court TV that sits there. It's a very useful piece of machinery, I will say that, especially when you're trying to write stuff down and you're going back and forth in your head, like a judge says something, the jury reacted, testimony. It'll take some practice. I'll get used to it. So by 10 minutes in, nobody's writing stuff down anymore. Now, when the chart gets popped on the screen, which, by the way, I think was a terrible way of going about the evidence for Amber Heard's team, number 8, even at first glance, kind of looks at it, and she looks very puzzled, like, what am I looking at kind of look when she's looking at this on her screen. Number 2 is intently reading his screen. So I'm like, it looks like there's a discrepancy, right, in both age and technological understanding. Because number 8, we know she's an older, what I like to call her Irish Catholic, lovely, lovely lady. She's not privy to this stuff. Like, she didn't grow up on this stuff. Number 2 might be like a tech geek. Same with number 1. They might be like nerds, and they seem very technologically in tune, because number 2 is like staring at his screen, reading it very intently. Number 5 doesn't appear to care. She doesn't even look at the screen. Take from that what you will. Now, I even wrote in big capital letters, and this is literally, I mean, it's too late now, so I'm going to show you guys. This is what I wrote in my notebook as Amber Heard's team was showing basically what looked like gibberish to the jury. You need to have the photo next to them, because it could have come from some other photo that's not in evidence. And what if it did? I was waiting for the question, which photos are you talking about? The jurors need to know. That's what I wrote. Which photos are you talking about? Because the jurors have I have no idea. And I'm sitting there going, are you comparing the photos that we've seen yesterday? Are you talking about some photos that you photographed yourself? I don't understand. So, yeah, very confusing to me. But the way they went about it, I think they could have done a much better job. Excuse me, 1 second. I think they could have done a much better job. I think they could have done a much better job just by including the photos in there. Number one looks puzzled as the cross continues on. I have to check my messages, make sure that Garrett, are you still in the chat? By the way, I just received a message. Garrett, I do not authorize you to make a Discord. So please do not make a Discord for my channel. You do not have authority, my friend. Okay. Why didn't Depp's team object to that, by the way? Why didn't they object? Because there was nothing to object to. It was complete trash. It was complete trash. So, Garrett, if you're still in the chat, please do not create a Discord. You do not have authority to create a Discord. All right. Let's see. I'm streaming. Okay, so maybe James is going to go back. It looks like doors open in 8 minutes. So yeah, they went back. That's fine. I'm just gonna order Uber Eats then. Give me just a second, you guys. I'm literally starving, and then we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue with this hack, also known as Eckhart. Give me just a moment, please. What do I want? Ooh, they have Chick-fil-A. Chipotle. Oh no, hands down. Chipotle. I mean, they're both good, but I'm craving a burrito bowl right now. Oh, I just got a message. I'm Johnny Depp and digital expert. I personally know the expert witness, Julian. That's fascinating. And I was chatting with his boss during his testimony. I can give you context if you want. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hi, Chris. Can you come on stream? Whoa, holy shit. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. As I continue trying to order my food, 1 second. Fajita veggies, fresh tomato salsa, corn salsa, romaine lettuce. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Oh, that would be so awesome if you could join. Damn. All right. I was getting excited. I was getting excited that I could potentially have a oh, it's okay. It's privileged information. I understand. I completely understand. No worries, brother. We will talk about it off the record, off stream. I was getting so excited for a minute here. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wait, can we have this conversation live? Is there anything, since you're listening to me, I don't even need to text you. You can just, this can be one-sided since you're listening to me right now. I'm basically talking to you. Chris, would you be willing to just come on and talk maybe generally without any inside stuff? Would you be able to just talk about generally rather than going too in depth to where you could potentially be compromising any current relationships? Would you be able to do that, Chris? He's a Johnny Depp supporter and digital expert. He said he personally knows Julian Eckhart, the hack gargoyle, as I referred to him. Just my own personal opinion. How do I join the stream? Okay, so send me an email. We're about to find out. I mean, we're about to find out. Send me an email. I just posted my email in the chat. Send me an email. I'm going to be looking for it. And as soon as you send me an email, or actually, wait a minute. No, text me your email. What am I doing? Text me your email. I can just throw you right in there. I'm such an idiot. Sorry. I've never had this happen before. Throw me your email and I'm going to send it to you. Throw me your email and I'll send it to you. And I will only use your first name. No problem. You got it, man. Holy hell, that's pretty cool. Stream DUI guy. You guys are about to get some very interesting input. That's for sure. His name is Chris. We're just going to call him Chris. This is not expected at all. I like this. Okay. So I sent you the email, Chris. Be on the lookout for it. Just click the link. Let me know if it doesn't work. I'm on the lookout for it. All right. Chipotle is preparing my order. Yay. All right. So number one looks puzzled as Cross continues. I'm still in Eckhart. Number 5 at 9:53. Okay, so Eckhart has been on the stand at this point for 37, 47, 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Eckhart has been on the stand, excuse me, for about 16 minutes, give or take. Number 4 appears antsy. Number 5 just had a deep yawn. Number 6 appears lost. He has a quizzical look on his face. And number 7 scratches his neck. And the photos, I wrote it again. This is how important it was. I'm like, the photos are redacted. Like, WTF. It completely detracts from your testimony. Oh, here we go. All right. His name is Chris. He's not going to show his face to conceal his identity. So you guys ready for this? This has never happened before in the history of my lives. I don't know if it has happened in any live ever. Hey, Chris.
You're being a little bit over the top, but yeah, it might be kind of new.
For me, it's new. I'm not saying. I'm saying in the LawTube community.
Hey, by the way, great coverage. All of you guys have been doing an amazing job.
Well, I appreciate that very much, my friend. That really does mean a lot. So let me just ask you. You reached out to me literally, if my math is right, 6 minutes ago for the first time ever in the history of us talking.
Yeah. Although I've been following all of you guys for about a week or so. And about myself, I'm a JD 15 plus years of experience in e-discovery, anything digital evidence wise, etc. So
wait, I'm sorry. When you said JD, I thought you meant Johnny Depp, like you're on Johnny
no,
Depp's side or something.
nope, I am a Juris Doctor.
Juris Doctor. So you're okay. So
Not
you
in,
finished law school.
Yeah, I never went licensed, but because of my work in e-discovery and digital evidence, it was useful to have the JD.
Wow. So you're gonna have I'm sure your mind is all over the place with this stuff. So what can you tell us, Chris? I'm just gonna open the floor to you.
So so much of the wording that was used was so carefully couched, as is always the case for an expert witness. You are very constrained as to what you can say, what you can speak to. And his response was perfectly couched, which is I can only opine on that which I was asked to look at or was given to look at, right? So
right.
Totally appropriate statement. And he was speaking only to that evidence which he had access to. Now, that being said, the way it was all couched was very, very not questionable, but I mean, the law is all about shades of gray, is it not?
Right. Well, experts, as I'm sure you're aware, since I imagine you testified as an expert previously, right?
I have not, but I've worked on hundreds of cases.
So you've worked on, but never testified in court.
Correct.
Got it. And so you're at least familiar with the fact, as a JD, that in order for evidence to be presented to a jury, when an expert is testifying, they're limited in scope to the data, etc., that has been provided by the lawyers for them to analyze, right?
Yeah, and to an extent, you're limited to that contextual information about that evidence that's provided to you at the time it's given to you. Right. You may discover new things in doing your analysis of that stuff in the metadata, and that's what the metadata is all for. So I found fascinating just the whole discussion of could they even use the word metadata yesterday. That was a long fought battle, I'm sure. And something that both sides fought for tooth and nail, because the metadata is insanely rich in what it can tell you. Geolocation, bit depth of the coloring in the photos, all of that stuff could have come in had they had the right jury instructions. But you'll notice they went nuts when he even mentioned the word color. I guarantee they fought about that at length.
And when it gets sometimes a little too technical, even judges who may not have the technological know-how struggle to sift through what they should allow the jury to hear and what they should not allow the jury to hear.
They kind of don't know what they don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I went into the law after I have 30 years of technology experience. So that's where I come from, and then got the JD because I'm trying to bridge that gap between what someone like the 40-year-old photographic expert who didn't have a certification and had a philosophy degree.
Yeah,
trying to impeach
political
him.
Science, I think.
Trying to impeach him. Yeah. Give me a break. You have no hope. But he was so constrained in what he could say, and I'm almost certain that's because of the orders coming from the judge.
Yeah.
Until they opened the door on metadata, he couldn't use the word metadata.
Now, you and I are going to have a private conversation at some point because I'd love to hear your input. And I know you're not going to share this on stream for obvious reasons, but I do have one more question for you maybe before I let you go, unless you have more stuff, because I'd love to hear your input on this. But the way that Eckhart came across, okay, when you compare him to what was the other guy's name? I can't remember. Benia? No, he was social media. Benia was social media. I can't remember his name either. Anyway, chat will, I'm sure, come to the rescue in just a few seconds here, as there's a delay in the stream. But anyway, when he was testifying, not Eckhart, the plaintiff's expert was testifying. Brian Neumeister.
Mm-hmm.
When Neumeister was testifying, Neumeister said, as he was breaking it down, they had like the photo by photo comparison. He had the breakdown of the bytes, the metadata, the hashes, whatever. Oh, this is above my pay grade. Obviously, I'm not a technical expert, right? Well, they did, and this is what I just talked about. They had a side by side, like photo, and it's the same photo. Obviously, something has been changed, and you can't talk about it. And you ask everything but that last question. And as a JD, Juris Doctor, I know you know this. You know, the final question you let the jurors answer but for themselves in their own heads. Oh, the saturation must have been manipulated with, or something of that nature, right? And that's basically what I felt Johnny Depp's team has been conveying. And in my opinion, I think they were very, very successful in getting that across. Now, compare that to today when Eckhart takes the stand. And I looked at juror number 8. Like I didn't even look at the demonstrative. I wanted to see their initial reaction, like the first second that demonstrative pops up in front of their faces. What are they going to do? And juror number 8 went from just sitting there like this to kind of staring at this thing like, what the hell what are these numbers and letters? I don't understand. And I'm sitting there going, okay, the pictures are going to come, right? They're going to show the pictures in a minute, right? They're going to show, and they never did.
Well, I think they held it for dramatic effect, right? For later on and as further impeachment.
What later on? The case is over today.
Well, I guess what the time you were talking about, where they put the two pictures together and overlapped them yesterday. Well,
yesterday.
They did that. Yeah, they did that.
Well, that was the plaintiff, but the defense, all they did was had him talk about something from what, as far as I know, he could be talking about 2 photo comparisons of George W. fucking Bush. We don't know because we didn't see the photos.
Well, if you were the defense, would you put those 2 photos up side by side again? Of course not. I mean, there's there's probably 1.5 billion people on the face of the planet who know how to manipulate the colors on a photo they take on their smartphone. My 12-year-old daughter started doing that when she was 6.
You bring up a fair point.
And contextually, this is why using the word color, clearly there was an order from the judge not to discuss color. They knew how damning that was going to be.
Okay. All right. Maybe you're right. I don't know. This I was not expecting that. To me, it detracted from the testimony.
But other than the colors, on a pixel by pixel basis, those 2 photos are absolutely identical.
Yeah.
As Runkel pointed out, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way of faking that.
And Eckhart can't change that, no matter how long he testifies on that stand for.
Well, so the other thing to keep in mind is how much emphasis was made on the fact that, and the jury won't hear this until instructions, it sounds like, that they never produced the physical phones or devices, right? So opposing counsel didn't get source material from the devices, which is critically important in this space, in arena. But clearly, defense had evidence from those devices. And hopefully, Johnny's team points that out. Not only did they not get the devices, some of the evidence that was presented by defense was from those devices. You can't get around that.
You sure can't. You're absolutely right. Well, before I let you go, my friend, is there anything else you would like to share with us?
No, phenomenal coverage, game-changing stuff, and keep up the great work.
I appreciate it, Chris. We'll be in touch. Thank you for coming on.
See ya.
Bye. Wow. Do you check your phone and you get something like that? You bet your ass you're gonna reach out. That was pretty incredible. Thank you so much, Chris. He's like I said, Chris is I probably need to change the description of my stream because I need to make sure to include that. Chris, we were also joined by Chris, who personally knows Julian and gave us some context. He's a Juris Doctor, by the way. So he went to law school. He's a Juris Doctor who went to law school, and he personally knows Julian and gave us some context about Julian's testimony. So maybe I hated on Julian a little too prematurely. Some of their other witnesses did a much poorer job. But yeah, anyway. Whew, that was cool. I need to link something in the, you guys want some t-shirts? You guys, are you interested in the t-shirts that I have? Let me link the t-shirts that I have. They're in the store, so you can see them. It's the Justice for the Line. Okay, sounds good, Chris. I really appreciate it. I just got your message. So I'm gonna pin this right here. Let's get you guys hooked up with, oh, oops. T-shirts. Not Justice for the Line. No, what am I doing? What If Anything? That's my favorite one. The What If Anything, for sure. What If Anything t-shirts. I'm going to pin that. Replace pinned message. Here we go. All right. So if you want a t-shirt, look up which direction is it? It's this way. Right here. Pinned to the chat. You can buy some t-shirts that say, yeah, I know Nick is happy to have me. So is Joe. I heard already Nick and Joe, and I think somebody else did. I saw a message from somebody. Was it Logic? Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset said that I'm always welcome on his channel. Much love, you guys. Thank you for if you're free before court or after, come on for a bit. Let me know. Well, I'm streaming right now, so maybe after I'm done. Currently watching jury instructions. Okay, got it. Okay. So thank you guys for the love. I very much appreciate that. Let's get back to this. Let's talk about more juror reactions, right? So where do we stop? So the photos are redacted. So maybe there was a reason for that. You don't want to show them again. At the conclusion of Eckart's testimony on direct, this is 9:55 a.m. Numbers 2, 7, and 8 are writing stuff down, and Denison laughs. Johnny Depp is staring down whatever lawyer was doing the direct examination of Eckhart. Now, during the cross of Eckhart, I think the jurors were so bored because number 7 is asleep. Number 2 and 5 are completely checked out. Even when he asks him questions like when authenticated originals and under oath and you testify this, that nobody is writing stuff down. Nobody. And, wait, I'm sorry. Wait a second. Hold on. Did I screw something up? No. Yeah. Julian Eckhart on direct examination on surrebuttal. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I got lost in my notes for a second. Even when Denison throws words around like authentic originals, you're going to testify under oath. Nobody cares. Nobody's writing stuff down at all. Amber Heard appears very tense. At one point, she was even kind of like fidgeting her fingers like this. It was very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, got it. Thank you, Chris. That's during cross-examination. She looked very tense. And I already mentioned this. And Eckhart, like a couple of times, he even scratches his face on cross. I don't know. It's just not a very good look. It's just not a very good look. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So when cross-examination gets heated, there's a moment around 10:02 a.m. this morning, cross-examination between Denison and Eckhart. You remember the back and forth, the rapid fire was like, it was like bullets were flying through the room. Because he's like, you seriously expect us to believe this? You seriously, like, it was really, really ruthless. It was almost like number 2 was about to fall out of his chair. Juror number 2 was getting ready to fall out of his chair as he was looking at the screen. I think he was so enthralled and so entranced by the testimony that, check my Twitter. If for a lot of your questions can be answered on Twitter, by the way. I tweeted a lot about this stuff. Okay, so before you ask a question, check Twitter, please. When cross-examination gets heated, he's like so enthralled and entranced, it's amazing. Collectively, it appears as though the jury really liked the cross-examination. Just my opinion. At this point, the defendant has 55 minutes remaining on their clock. I tried to do the math in my head because I would write down like the start of direct, the start of cross, the start of redirect, all of those. So I have the ability to go back and kind of subtract and do a very rough math estimate. So at 10:02, the defendants had 55 minutes remaining on their clock, and their case in chief on Sir rebuttal. So number 6, during the bench conference, gives a very deep look. Now, I saw this one, I saw personally. Number 6 gives a very deep look, like a very meaningful, he's an elderly gentleman. He's presumably in his 60s, white hair. He gives a very deep look to Johnny Depp's camp, and he cracks a slight smile. I found that to be amazing. Again, it's like 6 and 8. Both had like a they're almost, it's almost like you already know. The evidence is pretty much entirely in. I'm going to say it in a few minutes, but it's like the atmosphere in the room was so different today compared to all these other times. Number 8 did this before she smiled at Johnny Depp, and then now number 6 kind of cracks a slight smile. It was barely noticeable, but if you're paying attention, you have to catch these things. And I know I can't imagine how much I have missed, because you can't just stare at the jury. I mean, that's just insane. That's annoying. That's disrespectful. I'm going to be auctioning these off probably like Runkle, the wristbands, by the way. We're going to be auctioning off the book. We're going to be auctioning off this book, and we're going to be auctioning off all of our wristbands individually, not collectively. And hopefully, we are going to be able to raise some money for the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. And if we're successful, by the way, if we're successful in achieving our goal is going to be $7 million. I know it's a very outlandish goal, but I'm going to go for it. We're going to have 3 things that we're going to be doing, auctioning off. And I'm going to write this down with Chanley's from Court TV's pen. We're going to be auctioning off 3 things. Number 1, this book. Number 2, wristbands, which I think I have 6 of, 4 from this week, and the 2 I can retrieve. I think they're in my trash. I wasn't really thinking about it. I'm such a simple man. I see, like, to me, they're pieces of plastic and paper. To other individuals, they're treasures. So Number 3, we're going to auction off T-shirts signed by like various legal tubers. And maybe we'll have some that will have multiple signatures. They're going to be auctioned off for a little bit higher price, hopefully, and then some will just be individually signed, and they're not going to be pledges. They're actually going to be donations. So we're not going to pledge the money. We're actually going to give the money. Okay. Now, Johnny Depp's camp and cracks a slight smile. Yeah. So at 10:05, one of the jurors. Oh, you guys, this was crazy. This was nuts. This was nuts. In the middle of trial, an hour into, one of the jurors started convulsing a little bit. Like Vanessa noticed it. I noticed it. Ian noticed it. Ian even like scratched it out of his notebook. I don't know why he doesn't want to talk about it. But we think that number 2 has like some sort of medical something. But it looked like he was convulsing for a minute, and then he was fine. And we tried to like alert the bailiff. We were like, excuse me, there's something is going on. And the bailiff just kind of looked at us like, what do you want? Like, basically sit your ass back down. Nothing to see here. And I'm like, are you looking behind you? Like, look. And she would not even look. She just like, sit down, just sit down. I'm not going to call them out by name. I know who it was, but I was very confused. I was like, why aren't you addressing a potential medical emergency that is happening right behind you? All you have to do is, and then you'll see. Maybe it happened before. Maybe they're used to it. I don't know. It seemed very odd, extremely odd that you have, if it was just one person, I get it. But 3 of us, if not, I don't know if Scott was in on this too, we're all just kind of like, there's something happening. You need to address it. And the bailiff was just not having it. I don't know. I found that to be a little bit disgusting. So, yeah. So that happened. Then Hughes on direct. I wrote this. Numbers 2, 5, and 9 are already checked out. Like they're done. 2, 5, and 9 are like, we're out. When do we get to leave? Give me just 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry, my food is here. I cannot tell you how hungry I am. I have not had lunch yet. So I'm going to try and I'm not that hungry like I was the other day. So I'm not going to eat too vigorously. But I definitely would like to stuff my face a little bit while I'm doing this, if you guys don't mind, of course. So numbers 2, 5, and 9 on the direct examination of Dr. Hughes, who's back on the stand, she does not appear to be very liked. Only numbers 1 and 7. Only numbers 1 and 7 are seen writing stuff down, according to my notes. At this point in the trial, now this is a very risky. Remember, I used to talk about it a little bit. This it's called basically a power move. It's like Ben Chu coming over to counsel table and putting candy on their table, kind of like of the same caliber. When a witness has provided absolutely nothing new, and all they try to do was like discredit a witness, and you see that the jury is just kind of like bored, and the testimony comes in and they're kind of like doing one of these. And if you pay attention, sometimes it's a risky but good move if you know what you're doing to be like, you know what? When cross-examination, you're like, no questions, Your Honor. And you sit down. And two things happen immediately when that happens, when you do that. Number one, the jury appreciates that you saved their time. They already know that this witness is trash. They have not provided anything new. They've not convinced them of like new ideas, like, oh my God, you just changed the whole course of a trial with this one witness that we already heard from that we didn't like previously. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So sometimes it may be prudent that because you're saving the jurors' times. And number two, actually three things. Number two, you're saving your own time because you have your own clock running. At this point, it doesn't really matter because the clock is almost run out. But the third thing that you're accomplishing is it shows caliber of lawyerly professionalism. Know your place. It's like knowing when to object and when not to object. Knowing which things are objectionable, you're going to win on. Which things are not objectionable, you're going to lose on. It's the same thing. Know when to ask the question. Like Vasquez, as Elaine calls her, Vasquez, Vazkwez, for the record. Ms. Vasquez, she knows the style. She knows exactly how to properly ask the question. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Short questions, short answers. Excuse me, that's not my question, Ms. Heard, and we'll get to that, by the way, in a minute, how she was cross-examining Ms. Heard. It was beautiful to watch. Once again, I think Amber Heard made a fool out of herself, and we will talk about why. Okay. But she did ask, they did ask a few questions of Hughes, and we'll get to that in just a second. Number 5, yawns again. So when did she take the stand? Hughes takes the stand at 10:06 in the morning, okay? By 10:09, 3 minutes, number 5 is already yawning. Again, this is the second time. Number 5 yawns again. And as Hughes is like attacking Curry, she's like, Curry said this and that's not true, and Curry said that and that's not true, and Curry did that. And let me tell you why it's not true. She just yawns in the middle of that testimony. And number 2 is writing some stuff down. During the bench conference, a couple minutes later, I think there was an objection or something. Number 2 looks like he's ready to go home. He keeps his head down and rubs his eyes. Like he had his head like completely like, I don't know if you guys can see me. He had his head like completely like this. And at one point he's even like, you could see him doing one of these, like he's rubbing his eyes, Camille Vasquez looks very cheerful today. I mean, she was smiling ear to ear a lot, not just to herself, but to her comrades in the trenches, Ben and all the other ones. And there was one point, I don't know if you guys caught that. I'm sure Nick has caught it. Nick is very good about catching these things. Elaine asked, she goes, Dr. Curry, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I even looked at Vanessa. I was like, did you catch that? She just called her Dr. Curry. And she's like, oh, she did? I'm like, 100%. She called Dr. Hughes. She called her own witness Dr. Curry. Even Camille is sharp as a fucking knife. As soon as that happens, she just turns and she just bursts out laughing. I think she turns this way because the jury is seated over there. So she turns this way and she just bursts out laughing so that they don't see it. But also at the same time, her fellow attorneys are right over here. So she's also, ha ha ha, she laughs to them. So it kind of like achieves a double purpose. 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing, which I think is fantastic. A couple minutes later, number 2 appears completely asleep. His head is still slumped over. Hughes does not come off as professional. She comes off as condescending and aggressive And the jurors, like collectively, I don't know how else to explain it, but they appeared to kind of like, when you're interested in something, you kind of lean into it. Well, if you like watch the jurors, they appear to collectively kind of lean away. Like it's not so pronounced that they're like, oh my God, get me away from this woman. No. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, if you're interested, let's say you're here, right? It's very subtle. And when I say collectively, I mean all of them. So when Hughes is testifying with this aggressive confrontational manner, rather than being like, if this is interested, if this is neutral, and this is disinterested, it's very subtle. We're talking like degrees, 1, 2, 3 degrees. It's very, very subtle. But if you pay attention, you'll notice it, and you'll never miss it. Sorry, I had food in my teeth. Another landline phone again. Well, oh no, you guys already know. You guys already know. I'm graciously staying at Karen's place, by the way. Thank you again, Karen, for graciously allowing LawTube and friends to use your home. You have been an absolute magnificent, random shout out friend. Like, thank you. Thank you so much for letting us use your place. So yeah. And then I have to make a reminder. Give me just a second. Okay. A couple people want to interview me. Law and crime. By the way, okay, so I need to ask chat. This is very important stuff. Why do some law tubers hate law and crime? We got 24,000 people watching right now, so I think this is a great time to ask this question. Why do some law tubers hate law and crime? Why? Why? Because I met one of their reporters, and she seems really sweet, Ms. Levy, Anjanette Levy. They copyright strike. They copyright strike. Okay, I've never had a confrontation with them because they never copyright struck me personally. I have an idea. Now, hear me out. I'm going to take it upon myself to try and bridge the gap of camaraderie between law tubers and law and crime. How about that? Are you guys with me? Maybe we can unify. What do you guys think? I know Nick hates him, but other than Nick, who else has beef with law and crime, okay? Other than Nick. Please shout it out in the chat. Emily, okay? Who else? I never said Nick doesn't matter. I said who else? I want to know if this is like so egregious that they're doing it to absolutely every single law tuber, and then the question becomes, what are they copyright striking? So Legal Mind said Joe, Emily. Okay, that's enough. That's enough for me to at least understand the trajectory. Well, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The loud chew noises. Okay, I'm going to put my food for later. But I was just curious. I apologize, you guys. I didn't know the microphone was picking all of that up. I would have never done that otherwise. Okay, so about five law tubers have been struck by law and crime. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna try and bridge the gap. Maybe we can have some peace between the camps of law and crime and law tubers. I'm not going to say, like, you know, man, these chipmunks, I wish I could show you these chipmunks. They're so bloody cute. They're like this big. They're so cute. And they're on the patio running around. So I don't know. Court TV, like I said, I met the reporter, one of the reporters. She seems nice. Law and crime, yes, they're big. Yes, they're biased. Yes, they do copyright strikes on certain people. They have beef with them. I don't have personal beef. Nick, Emily, Joe, some others, they have beef. That's fine. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Okay. So at 10:16, number 6 glares challengingly at Elaine on cross-examination. He is not happy with Elaine. I'll tell you that right now. Number 6 is giving her the heebie-jibbies. You know, heebie-jibbies. You guys understand what I'm trying to say. It is bad. Juror number 6 does not like Elaine on cross. Number 2 yawns. Again, number 9, I wrote he's completely checked out. Chu face palms. Even Chu has checked out, one of the lawyers. Meanwhile, Amber Heard just kind of does one of those hair flips, you know, that women do. And she had that hair down or whatever today, and she just, that lesbian hair that she's got. No offense, I'm very LGBT friendly. It's just the way she wears it is so wrong. Like, there are 100 different ways of wearing that hair better. I don't understand how can they not come up with at least one way of doing Amber Heard's hair that does not make her look like a creep. Is there not one hairstyle, one freaking hairstyle that she can wear that is not going to make her look like a creepy whatever? Number 5 is rolling in her chair side to side. Yeah, 3-6 code type. Somebody remembers my previous stream. So 6 is, by the way, I can't say 3-6 code type anymore. I can say 3 code type because 6 I'm starting to figure out, I think, a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll get to it. There's more on 6. Number 6, we have a lot of juicy intel on. Brand new. And number 5. Well, number 5. Well, yeah. Number 5 and 6. The only one I'm still literally like, if you were to give me, if there was a jury of one, okay, let's say this was a jury of one, and you're like, jury number 3 is your juror. How is he going to vote? I will literally be like, flip a coin, dude. You have better chances with a coin than with juror number 3, because I have no idea. I have no idea at all. He doesn't move other than like, look, he's very respectful. I think he respects the process. I think juror number 3 is very in tune with the testimony. He's listening. He's paying attention. I don't think I've ever seen him sleep from what I remember. He's the only one who's never like closed, maybe once or twice, but very rarely, very rarely. So, anyway. Okay. All right. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. So, where was I? So number 5 is kind of rolling her chair side to side because they kind of swivel a little bit. They swivel side to side. Holy shit. Wait a minute. Hold on. I haven't been paying attention to my subscribers. Where are we? Oh my God. We're at 193,000 subscribers. Somebody just shouted in the chat. What? Thank you, you guys. I didn't know. I'm guessing you guys really like this stuff, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't be subscribing. Holy crap. Are we going to get to 200,000 today? That would be something. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep streaming. You guys, I have so much to go through still. Look at this. I still have all of this to go through. I have so much material. I don't know if you guys can see how thick that is. This is how much I still have to go through. That is really thick, and it's loaded with information that you cannot find anywhere else except in here and in here. Nobody has this. This is, like I said, it's a unique opportunity that I put myself into voluntarily. So awesome. Thank you guys for the love. And I hope you enjoy some of my other videos. You know, like my primary thing is I do what Vasquez does. I cross-examine police officers on the stand in real cases, real clients, my clients. That's what I do for a living. Like you can actually see cops get obliterated on the stand. That's another thing I have to do today, by the way, is to show there was a moment in the cross by Denison, I think, when Denison crossed Hughes, I think it was, on, was it Hughes? Somebody that he was like, I think it was Hughes, about like standard operating procedure when he showed the manual. The manual. I was like, oh yeah, that's like how you do in police work, like I do. Police work cross link. Okay, so just a reminder for myself. All right, let's keep going. Let's give you guys some more juice, some inside intel. Don't forget to like this video too, by the way. Thank you so much. I love this. You guys love this, obviously. When Hughes is condescendingly says, oh yeah, like I do it in my office all the time on cross-examination. If you remember that point, number 8 just like raises her glasses and kind of rubs her eye, like she's just like over it, like, oh my God, kind of reaction. No notes, 0 notes on cross-examination, not a single bloody note by a single juror at this point. Okay, and this is approximately somewhere between about 10:18, give or take. And I even wrote, I have to show this note to you guys. You guys are going to find this hilarious. Check this out. In my notebook, I wrote, because we were moving so fast, I wrote, I can't write fast enough. So much is happening. I can't write fast enough. So much is happening. And then I forgot about this one. I wish I could type. It's true. It's true. Otherwise, I wouldn't have never written it. It was absolutely true. I was like, my hand is going to fall off. I'm not complaining. It was worth it. Today was worth it. Oh, side note. Why was the line so short today? Pretty much the entire world should have known that Amber Heard is going to take the stand today. It's the last day of testimony in a 6-week trial. Defendants on surrebuttal are going to put Amber Heard on the stand. Everybody loves this kind of shit. Like, I knew it. Runkle knew it. That's why Runkle showed up, I'm sure. But the line was only like 150 deep. I think everybody who was in line today got in. I'm like, does the world not realize that it's not just about the short day? You got Amber Heard destroyed. Would you not want to see it live? I would have paid to see it live. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I think that tells me that the world is already over it. They don't need to hear it again. Or they just did not understand the fireworks that Camille Vasquez was going to create in that courtroom. I don't know. To me, that's what it says. It says at least those two things. So, yeah. All right. At 10:20, number one stops looking at. Are we still on Hughes? I think we're on Hughes. Right? Sorry, I lost my train. Yeah, we're still on Hughes. Stops looking at Hughes and stares down. Looks to be checked out again. Or if for the first time, then for the first time. And there's this glorious moment when number 8 gives this, "Are you done?" look at Elaine. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. That's how I read it. If I were to be inside her head when she gave that look, it was like "Are you done?" look. That's the only way I can describe it. The only ones paying attention are numbers 4, 6, and 7. 40 minutes remain, by the way, on defendant's time at 10:21. When she says words like, "I vehemently disagree with, Dr. Curry's opinion," or whatever it was, number, I forgot to write it down. Number 1. It was number 1. Yeah. Number 1 rested his chin on his fist. Yep, he was doing one of these. Yeah, I remember now. It was number 1. Number 1 was resting his fist on his chin on his fist. He appeared very bored. And the jury appears very disinterested in Elaine's side comments on basically how ill-prepared she is. Remember when she was like, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I shouldn't have asked that, or I should have asked something." I don't know. It's quite incredible. Wait, are you serious? What is going on? I'm sorry. Let me take a pause real quick. Is Ricada streaming right now? Is Nick streaming right now? Because I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's up and who's not. Ricada's chat is really pulling for DUI guy. What does that mean? I know he wants me on, but you guys, I still have I have to finish this. This video needs to be done. I need to finish this. As soon as I'm done, I promise I'll go on Nick's, okay? I promise. Let me just finish this. Nick's cool. I like Nick. On cross-examination, there's a bench conference. Hold on. Let me read this because I'm... Oh, okay. So the defense, this was, let me hide this current comment. It's not my Mustang. It's a rental. I'm driving a Mustang from the rental place. Oh my God, no way. No. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Okay. I was like, holy shit. Don't scare me like that, dude. For a second, I thought I already hit 200,000 for. I was like, there's no way I received 6,000 subscribers in like 5 minutes. Anyway. Okay. 10:23, 38 minutes left for the defense. Cross-examination of Dr. Hughes. So there's a quick bench conference. There's like an objection or something. I'm not 100% sure. But they go to the bench to argue something. And in the meantime, Whitney, Whitney Heard is seated in the front row, Amber Heard's sister. And she kind of turns around and looks back at the gallery. And I noted here that she appears very distraught and exhausted. I don't blame it. I don't blame it. She is really, really tired. When she starts talking about the not golden rule, but there was something like that, diagnosis. Number 5 is yawning. Number 2 looks bored. And numbers 7 and 8 are seen writing stuff down. Number 2 appears to be nodding towards Denison when he's doing his cross-examination. Not towards the witness, towards Denison, the lawyer for Johnny Depp's side. When he starts talking about like PCL should not be used as a standalone diagnostic tool, you can see number 2 smirking visibly. And when Hughes starts to get argumentative again, the jury seems very aloof and disconnected from her. When he starts talking about reading directions, like let's talk about reading directions, and you need to read directions. Oh, thank you for becoming a member, Amanda. Reading directions. Number 8 scratches her head and does. Now I know what it's called. Now that we've done the research, because I didn't have the what's it called? The nomenclature, the word for it. Now I have it. It's called the whelp face, right? It's this. The whelp face is this face. But it's sometimes it's not as pronounced. Sometimes it's mild like this. And I don't remember which one it was, but I remember when reading directions was brought up, number 8 is kind of like doing one of these or like this. I don't remember where she scratched it. Number 8 is seen. Oh, and right after that, she just starts reviewing old notes during the bench conference. Very like not even a minute after that, a few seconds after that. Now to me, I know you guys are not in my shoes. You guys are all about, what did Amber Heard do and what did the jury react? But there was one moment. You can probably see, like, by the grin on my face, how happy I am. When, as a lawyer, this was the most phenomenal thing I have seen in that courtroom since I've literally sat in there. Okay? The most as a lawyer, it's like, oh my God. I can't believe he just did that, because it shows so much power. It shows how because lawyerdom is all about control. It's all about how you can convey your sense of, I have a winning case and I'm going to continue down this path. I have a powerful idea that I'm going to convey to you. I am on the winning side. I have the facts. They have nothing. And what better way? Everybody missed it. I asked Vanessa. I didn't ask Runkle, but I asked Vanessa, and maybe if she was the only one I asked. I don't remember. But the point is, I was like, did you just catch that? And if you're not a lawyer, you will miss it. So let me share this with you. Denison At 10:33 in the morning, he had like a piece of paper that he was going to give to Dr. Hughes. And that piece of paper had on it, it was the manual or whatever it was, right? Well, check this out. He takes the piece of paper, right? And again, if you're not a lawyer, you probably would never notice this. He gives the piece of paper to defendant's counsel, and then he's supposed to ask, Your Honor, may I approach, to give a copy to the court and then give a copy to the witness. He doesn't ask to approach. I don't know if he forgot. I don't know if he was so into the testimony, but I swear this motherfucker is oozing so much confidence. I literally thought I was going to drown in his, like, basically metaphorical pool of confidence. I was definitely getting wet. I will tell you that much. Not like that. But I was definitely, like, my feet were getting wet in that pool that he created. That's how much confidence he was oozing. Giga Chad. That's right. There is a word for that. So straight up, Denison. What's his first name? What is Denison's first name? I forget. We're gonna etch him into the internet books right now, you guys. What's his first name? We're gonna etch him in. Wayne. What's that? That's right. I knew that. All right. From now on, he shall be known as Wayne Giga Chad Denison. Because that motherfucker earned it. Just no fucks given. No, I own this courtroom. Here you go. Let's move on. I swear. And if you're not a lawyer, you would miss it. I understand why you would miss it, because it's not something that you look for. All right, we already talked about that. There was a moment around 10:35 on cross-examination of Dr. Hughes by Denison. The judge is laughing at how much Hughes is argumentative. Like, she's laughing at it. When Denison starts talking about a standard way that it must be applied, it sounds like my cross-examination of my police officers. Honestly, and this is a good time to plug in. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, etc. You'll see tons and tons and tons of police videos on my channel where I cross-examine and show cops how to do a proper job. And if they haven't done a proper job, I show them why they haven't and teach them to be better cops, basically. I make cops better. That's what I do for a living, if you want a definition of my job at this juncture. I also do plaintiff's work, personal injury, car accidents, and so forth. I can't wait, by the way. I know we have like 25,000 people watching right now. If you have a personal injury case in Kentucky, like a car accident that you think needs to go to trial, and you want to go to trial, and maybe your lawyer is, and it's a good case, not just like, I just want to go to trial for the hell of it. I'm saying a seriously good case. And maybe there's an offer on the table, maybe there isn't. And you absolutely want to go to trial, and you're in Kentucky or Southern Indiana or even Ohio, reach out to me and I will help you. I can't wait to try a personal injury case. I mean, I can't wait. Okay. So at 10:37, number 5 is seen closing her eyes. When this was beautiful. When Denison brings up the point that, you guys, there's nothing in the box on the form, right? Remember the form? And there was the box in there, and she's supposed to fill it out, and there's nothing in the box. Number 2, visibly, aggressively nods, like, like it was noticeable. We already know whose side she's on, so that comes as no surprise. On redirect, it moves pretty fast. Elaine gets in, and gets out of there in about 4 minutes. When at the start, number 8 whelps. She gives the face to the witness again. She's more interested. There are a couple people that are walking into the gallery, and she's more interested in the people that are arriving in the gallery than listening to Hughes on redirect, because she's like looking at them rather than the witness, which is over there. She's looking at the gallery over here. Hughes looks like the kind of woman that creates voodoo dolls of her exes and pins them before bed every night. That's what I have to say about her. Yes, offense to her. Number 2 nods at Elaine when the judge sustains Denison's objection. So when the judge sustains an objection and Elaine starts doing something she's not supposed to do and her objection is sustained, number 2 is kind of like nodding at her like, I don't know, get your shit together or whatever. Number 5 is resting her eyes again. I think number 5 either didn't get enough sleep or she's just over all of this. Now there's a gentleman in the gallery. I don't know who he is because I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I talked to their driver, by the way, on total accident. We went into the elevator at the same time. I was wondering who he was because he's been there every day and he uses the hearing aid. I thought he was just like a staple in the courtroom, but no, he's the driver. He's Johnny Depp's driver and the bodyguard's driver, or one of the drivers. I think they have 2 cars, or maybe they have one, right? He's the driver. Yeah, he's the driver of the one car. Anyway, super cool guy. I got a chance to meet him a few days ago. But when I didn't get a chance to meet, I didn't get a chance to meet the bodyguards, and I did not get a chance to meet. I did not get a chance to meet this guy. Like, we don't know who he is. He's got gray hair, glasses, and a beard, I believe. And he's always there. He's always with Johnny. The best way I can describe him, he looks like a way, way, way better polished and better looking Andy Warhol. For some reason, that's the name that comes to mind. And I guess it's the creative genius that I see in Andy Warhol, but he kind of looks creepy. I don't like Andy's look. This guy is like a more polished, more chiseled. Like if Andy Warhol and Johnny Depp had a love child, it would be this guy. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can describe it, because he's very chiseled, he's very polished, he's very professional, but he's also got that creative genius look in his eye. I can't describe it. And I don't know who he is, but he's been in that courtroom every single day, and he always sits next to the bodyguards. So then we have our morning break. We come back. During the break, I only got a chance to tweet like 5 tweets because it was so short. Amber Heard looks very distressed during the bench conference in the morning. Again, she whelps her lips. There's a lot of whelping going on today. Everyone is whelping. James from court and see, I don't notice these things. It's Vanessa who always calls them out to me. James from court and Rottenborn are dressed in the exact same outfit, same colors, same everything. I just found that hilarious. Shout out to you, James from court. Fucking love you, man. No hate, just saying that you guys, same color tie, same color jacket, same color pants. What are the odds? Some math geeks over there in the chat, by the way. I say, what are the odds? We have 25,000 people watching right now. What are the odds of 2 individuals coming into the courtroom of about a total of 125 people to be dressed in the same color suit, which is not a common color. It's kind of like a greenish, grayish, I think, and a golden like tie, golden yellow tie. Like, what are the actual odds of that happening? About 125 people, give or take, in a courtroom of about 125 people, 2 people showing up with the same kind of off-color gray, green, with, yeah, there you go, 2.63%. And we all know that Chad is always right. Thank you, Winter Steel, for that. Anywho, Amber Heard is now on the stand again. 10:10 a.m. or excuse me, 11:10. This is an error. It's 11:10. 11:10 a.m. Amber Heard is back on. Number 2 is the only one taking notes on direct examination, and he is zoning out on her. Is what I wrote down. Numbers 1 and 2 start writing stuff down on her trauma and inability to work. Now, here comes the most beautiful moment of the entire trial. I think, in my personal opinion, what Amber Heard did today, shooting herself in the foot. Okay? Here's what happened. She receives, she says, thousands of death threats she has been receiving. She is giving jurors brand new information that they did not know, because they can't do their own independent research, you guys. Understand where I'm coming from. Understand the gravity and magnitude of the damage that Amber Heard spewed out of her mouth to the jury in the first 5 minutes of the trial. The trial went from, here we are, it's just the 2 of us, it's just the 20 of us, really, including all the lawyers and everything else, part of the trial. But she brought in the entirety of the internet into that courtroom. And she did it to herself. Thousands of death threats. I even wrote down thousands of death threats. Thank you, Amber Heard. Why thank you? You just brought the entire internet into the courtroom so the jury knows exactly what we, you and you and you and you and you and me think about her. Remember, she didn't say, I've been receiving them previously before this trial. It is, I've been receiving like to date. And what was that whole thing about baby in a microwave? Like, thank you, Amber. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making the jurors' jobs so much easier, because now they can also bring all of what you just said about them, what they've been saying about you, they can bring that back to the deliberation room. Like, did you guys hear what she's been receiving? So we're not alone in this. If she was already losing the case, remember how I said she's already lost it? That's the moment. That was the click where I was like, bitch, you just lost. And you did it to yourself, trying to play this victim who's being harassed and embarrassed by the rest of the world. Victims are not harassed and embarrassed, honey. Liars are harassed and embarrassed. Victims receive help. They receive support. They receive gifts, donations, time, energy, money, help. That's what victims receive. Liars and hacks and cheaters and individuals who are trying to cheat other people out of their money, those are the ones that receive hate and death threats and crazy stuff. You literally just told the jury what the world thinks of you. How did you not realize that? I mean, I'm glad you did. I'm glad that happened. But in that moment, I said it was boom. My face was just like, I don't know if it's noticeable on stream. I can probably go back and look at it. But as soon as she said that, I was like, it was like a light bulb. That's it. Johnny just won. Johnny just won, and you helped him by testifying to stuff that you don't even understand the ramifications. It also shows such a low level of emotional intelligence, because anyone who is even remotely smart, even someone who is remotely smart, would never receive, we would never say something like that, but they would also not be receiving so many death threats and being so harassed and embarrassed. I mean, sure, don't get me wrong. Sometimes victims get harassed and embarrassed. People are saying they fear for her baby in her care. She didn't talk about that, of course, because that hurts her case, but she made a mistake, a very devastating mistake. Because if she would have just said, I sometimes receive an email, they'll be like, okay, well, but she said thousands. Thousands. So thank you, Amber Heard. When she starts to talk about like reclaiming her identity or whatever, I noticed very visibly jurors numbers 6 and 7, who are both male, by the way, they just kind of like very stoically look at her. They don't even flinch. There's like no emotional connection. I don't personally emotionally connect when Amber Heard testifies. 6 and 7, I looked at them. They had zero emotional reaction. I wrote down to Amber Heard's what I called tantrums. She's throwing tantrums in the courtroom. And yeah, she said, I wrote the op-ed. Did nobody notice that? She said, I wrote the op-ed. Oh. Twice. What the fuck? She was like, you guys want to win? Here you go. On a silver platter. Just tell me how much money you want, and the jury will take care of the rest. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There was also a moment. Now, did anybody check? Chat, I need your help on this because I missed it. It was the word when she said the word secret. Okay, I need chat right now. We're gonna get to war on this. I need your assistance, or work on this. I need your assistance, chat. There's a moment in direct examination on Amber Heard when she says the word something secret, like protecting the secret. Obviously, she's trying to talk about the secret of the abuse. This is what she's trying to say. It's the secret of the abuse that Johnny did to me. That's what she's trying to say. That's what she's trying to say. Now, Vanessa said, I need the exact quote. Chat, I need your help. Can you please go back to Amber Heard's testimony and find? I'm getting there. I'm not taking a tangent. This is extremely relevant and extremely important. Pay attention, chat. I'm being dead serious. Vanessa wrote down, protecting the secret of what I did. What is this? Is this a correct quote? Why Johnny kept his secret? No, not that one. Oh, the gray-haired dude is his manager. Okay, that's good to know. What was I need the exact quote, and it cannot be a mistake. I need the exact quote. I kept the secret. Okay, so I kept the secret. Give me the full quote. Can somebody give me the full quote, please? And super chat it if you can. If you have the exact quote, so I don't miss it. I kept the secret as long as I did. I kept the secret as long as I did. Is that the one? Protecting the secret that I did for so long as that. Protecting the secret. This is extremely crucial, and I'll tell you why in a second. Protecting the secret Michael Jones sent me an email. I don't need that. No. We're focus, Michael. Is that it? Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did. Is that right? Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did. So right there, protecting, the key phrase here is protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did. So this is correct. Yes, that's it. The secret that I did. You guys have confirmation of this, okay? I can't screw this up. This is for real. If I fuck this up and some word is out of place, even a letter is out of place, then it's going to be my ass. So I'm relying on you, chat. That's how media is reporting it. That's the quote. Okay, yep, read it. That's how I'm seeing it too. Okay. Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did, the secret that you, Amber Heard, abused your husband, Johnny Depp. Yeah, that's pretty much the what she didn't say. Okay. Okay. So she admitted to writing the op-ed. Thank you, Amber. You literally just sealed the deal for defamation. You wrote it. Thank you for that. And protecting the secret that you did for as long as you did. I mean, that's it. That's it. It can be taken either way, but I don't know. The words that I did are very, very pronounced. She acts both times. You got to remember, because when you're on cross, it's a lot of pressure. It's very difficult to keep your facts straight when you're lying. It's easier to spill the truth, and the truth accidentally came out. So thank you, Amber. All right, let's keep going. So when she says that, by the way, jurors 5 and 9 look at her very skeptically. Jurors number 5 and 9 look at her very skeptically. And during the bench conference, numbers 2 and 8 look in our direction. The entire courtroom can't stop talking. It's very audible. Even the bailiffs are smirking. I mean, that's how intense that moment was. It was absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, crazy stuff. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, all you newcomers. Thank you again. The entire courtroom was so abuzz. So you guys remember that moment when the judge was like, if you guys don't stop talking right now, I'm going to escort the entire panel out of this courtroom. That's because we were all like, did you hear what she just said, kind of thing, because you can't use your phone. Otherwise, everybody would be silent. It would be dead silence. And all you would hear is blip, 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 blip. But because we can't use our phones in the courtroom, you heard the chatter. It was nuts. At this point, I'm going to honor this bet. I'm a man. I'm a gentleman. I'm a man of my word. I had a $20 bet with Runkle. I was like, Runkle, I bet you $20 right now that Camille's cross-examination will not go over 5 minutes. She's just going to bash her over the head with a club, and she's going to get the fuck out of there. And Runkle is like, I'm going to put money on 10 minutes. And I was like, okay. And then split the baby or whatever. He's like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. I don't care. It's $20. And yeah, she went over way more than 10 minutes. She went over like, what, 10 minutes? 20 minutes or something like that? No, more than that. Almost half an hour. She went almost half an hour. So Runkle, you won the bet. I'll buy you a dinner and a beer or whatever and pay you the $20. I'm just saying whatever $20 is worth, or if you want $20, I'll send you that. Amber Heard. Now that's another thing that Vanessa pointed out. Vanessa said, have you noticed how Camille always like carries herself with her chin up? And some of my Slavs in the crowd, I'm sure, will attest to this. Slavs are very proud people. Like, we're raised in an environment where you're supposed to like hold a stature and be presentable and be respectful and, have a proper sense of decorum, dress properly, look appropriate, and so on and so forth. And have you noticed Amber? I'm convinced she's a Slav. I'm convinced. I don't know what type. I already talked about it yesterday. And I'm not 100% sure what kind of Slav she is, but I feel like she is. And we usually can recognize each other. I don't know why it took me so long. Maybe because I was too busy with I have never absorbed the amount of information that I was able to absorb over the last 2 weeks, you guys, is astronomical. It is literally incomparable in magnitude. I have learned more in these 2 weeks than maybe in the last, I don't know, 5 years of my life. And I'm not trying to exaggerate. I'm being dead sincere. This is such a different world. And the learning curve is not that steep, especially if you got the logical sense to pay attention, listen, and not resist. So if people listen to people when they tell you like, do this, don't do that, don't be like, I'm going to do whatever I want. You're going to start screwing up. Listen to people. Like, I made a very interesting point to listen to everybody rather than try and resist it. And let me tell you, I learned a lot. So I don't know. I learned so much. Amber Heard consistently keeps her chin up. So back to the Slav. She keeps her chin up very proudly. Like, victims, Johnny looks like the victim this whole trial. Johnny looks like the victim. He's constantly looking at the floor and just kind of talk slowly like, yep, this is what it is, and da-da-da-da-da. And, I just got a DM from Matthew. He clipped the words from Amber Heard, or Amber Turd. I'm trying to be at least mildly classy. I know I'm not always classy, but I try to be sometimes. Matthew, here we go. Clip of the words. Let me just play this real quick. I'm sorry. I want to put this on stream just so that we're all on the same page, because I do need this. Thank you for that. Oops. Share screen. Tab. Here we go. Almost slips up.
Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did has taken enough of my voice.
Watch her face.
Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did.
She was searching for the words. Watch it. Watch her eyes. They go from looking straight. Watch this.
Protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did has taken enough of my voice.
That does not look believable to me, guys.
protecting the secret that I did for as long.
That I did. Yeah. There you go. Thank you for that, Matthew Self. She caught herself like, oopsies. Not what I meant to say. She constantly has her chin up. She won't look at LegalTube during bench conferences. When she does look at us, she has this new whelp look on her face. Again, there it is. It's like a running theme. Jurors look at Amber Heard with a whelp, smiling at Johnny. Amber is whelping at everybody. At one point, the curly-haired lawyer turns around and exchanges another whelp look on his lips with Whitney Heard. It's almost like they've already accepted defeat, and today certainly shows. I've never seen it before, and today I'm seeing it constantly, and from Amber Heard herself twice. I already talked about this, but I'm just going to say, let's check the poll, you guys. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. What I think the results will be, I already tweeted about it. Why are you DMing me when it's all on my Twitter? You dum-dums. Read my Twitter before you ask a question. Okay. Let me go ahead and no, not this one. Share. Oh my God, I can't. There we go. This is my Twitter. Remember, I said I'm calling it right now. It's over. Amber Heard lost. My prediction: JD has 80% chance of getting 7 million, 50% chance of getting 14 million, 25% chance of getting 25 or more, and 1% chance of getting all 50 million he asked for. And you guys, the rest of the internet, at the time we had 28,000 votes. We're now at 37,000 votes. And it looks like, so we're still at 10%. Interesting. 10% of the people are like, he's going to get nothing. Amber Heard basically either won. That still doesn't mean Amber Heard won, though. That still doesn't mean Amber Heard won. I need to do another poll where, how much do you think Amber Heard will get? Oh, I'm going to do that right now. Sorry. That is brilliant. But I'll finish this real quick. How much do you think Amber Heard is going to get? I just said, Emily, I literally am talking about this right now. Thank you for the super chat. So 10% chance that he gets, this is what the world is saying, 10% chance that the verdict is going to be for Johnny Depp, basically. That's the bottom line. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, one and all. So yeah, 0%, $0, 36%. So it hasn't changed much. It hasn't shifted much. 30% are saying 30 million plus. 21%. So this one dropped 21%. So about a fifth are saying 14 million. About 1 out of 3 are saying 30 million, and just slightly above 1 out of 3 are saying 7 million. Okay, that's respectable. So everybody thinks he's just going to get his divorce money back. And I agree. I think it's the just thing to do. How much money do you think Amber Heard will get if she wins? I'm going to post it on my Twitter. Let's keep it alive for 0 days. Let's see, 3. Let's do some math real quick. Trial resumes tomorrow at 9, so it's got to be before closings. So it's going to be 6 hours. 5 plus 12, 17 hours. We're at 17 hours and 47 minutes. Let's put it at 45. Here we go. Choice number 1. She's going to get 0. What should the other choices be? We have 3 options. $0. Obviously, the other option is 100 million. That's the bottom one. So between 0 and 100, what do you all think? Don't on Twitter. Why not? This is like the best place. You guys, do you realize how many followers I have gained? because of this. I started at less than 1,000. I'll put in a negative. I like that. But I don't like that because negative is my Johnny poll. It already has it. My $0, $1. Come on, be real. Come on. 7 million. Why would she get 7 million? No, it has to be realistic. Okay, so I'm gonna. Chad is being crazy. I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna write $0, 25 million, 50 million, and 100 million. How much money do you think Amber Heard will get if she wins? Let's see what Twitter says. I'm very curious, actually. I'm very curious. I don't imagine that the results are going to be very much different, but let's see. Let's see if the internet is correct. All right. 26 minutes are left for the defense at this point, and cross-examination by the amazing Camille Vasquez begins. When Amber Heard on the stand says, "I never lied," both number 6 and number 7. I was writing so fast. This is definitely where I thought my arm was going to fall off. Jurors number 6 and juror number 7 have both visibly snarled at various points, but I can tell you right now, number 6 snarls at "I never lied" at Amber Heard. Facts. It was immediate. Amber Heard said, like, Camille accuses her of lying. She goes, "I never lied." And number 6 is like he does visibly this as soon as she says that. Like he just smelled. You guys fill in the blank. "I don't recognize that man," talking about Mr. Knight. The whole fucking room gasped audibly. When she says, "Oh, this whole thing about coming to the Johnny Depp show," jurors, no reaction, non-reactive at all. Like they're ready to pass out. Again, number 2 is still checked out. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone is listening very intently. When there's a question from Camille, they look at Camille. When there's an answer from Amber, they look at Amber. Camille, Amber. They're listening intently, but there's no empathy. Like, remember how I said numbers 1 and 9 had like furrowed eyebrows when Johnny Depp was testifying, like they were empathizing with him? Well, when Amber Heard is on the stand, they're all just devoid of emotion on their faces. Amber Heard's responses and constant looks at the jury are so robotic, the jury can't seem to find a way to relate to her. Like, even if they wanted to, they can't find a way to relate to Amber Heard. Number 2 leans back. Number 2 leans back at Amber Heard, smirking on video, and that's when number 7 snarled. Wait a minute, which video? What am I talking about here? I'm sorry. Oh, the editing video, editing video stuff. When Camille goes, so you edited that video, right? Or you doctored that video, whatever it was. Number 2 leans back and is seen smirking. Amber Heard's whelp look on her face on editing video doesn't look helpful to her case to the jury based on their reactions to that. Wow, we got a lot of newcomers in here. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, join on as a member if you're so inclined. Thank you for watching this. At the photo with no bruise, number 2 and number 9 are both about to fall out of their chairs. Remember that photo that's like, this is you the next day after you filed the TRO and you don't have a bruise on your face? Numbers 2 and number 9 nearly fell out of their chairs. It didn't matter what she said at that point. You got to remember, on cross-examination, it absolutely makes no difference whatsoever what the answer is. Sometimes the question is enough. And in this case, boy, oh boy, let me tell you, the question delivered, because 2 and 9 were just like, oh, and they nearly fell out of their chair. I don't think I've ever seen that extreme. Appears as though Amber Heard herself, I found this interesting. I just got this note because this case has gone on so long. Amber Heard appears herself as though Amber Heard herself is not buying her own bullshit anymore. Did anybody catch that, by the way? Or is it just me? When she was testifying, when she was on the stand, she was like, she wasn't buying her own bullshit, is literally what it felt like. Like I'm like over this case. I just want to get out of here. I want to go home. I got my publicity. I got my publicity. That's why. That's why she didn't care anymore. I got riding Johnny's coattails one last time. I got the publicity I wanted. Now I can go home. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, what a mind fuck. What a realization. Oh man. It just hit me out of nowhere. I wrote it down and I was like, this is what I thought. And now this second thought hit me. Number 2, still checked out. That has, I guess, remember I told you in the beginning that number 2 is going to be a recurring theme. Yeah, number 2 is literally the life of the party this morning. And this is only 11:52. I have been streaming about as long as, literally, wait a second. Yeah, literally as long as this trial has been going on physically inside the courtroom. I've been streaming for 2 hours and 42 minutes. This right here is the 2 hour and 52 minute mark of the trial. This is how dense and how congested this information is that I have been trying to jot down for you guys, because it's been so freaking saturated. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 200,000, you guys. I can't believe it. I can't believe it how quickly we're getting there. This is literally insane. By the way, shout out to Emily D. Baker. I forgot to do this last stream. Congratulations on 500,000 subscribers. Emily, you deserve every single one of them. I swear to God, you're doing such a great job. I loved appearing on your channel. I hope to appear on it again very soon. I'm sorry I have not been appearing on it. The problem with appearing on channels during breaks, during lunch, during morning breaks is that they're super short, and I'm trying to get like my own content, because if I go on yours, no offense, if I go on yours, I do bolster your numbers, but I'm not doing anything for myself. And I've been very selfless for the longest time, and I figured it's about time to be a little bit selfish. So I'm not apologizing. I'm just telling you that I'm sorry that I have not been on your channel. I will definitely appear, especially when things calm down, like you see today. Today's basically, it was over at noon, so we're going to continue on doing all this stuff. I'll go on Nick's. I'll go on Emily's. I'll talk to Rob. Rob will be there with us tomorrow. I'll go on Ian's. We can compare notes. I'll be more than happy to, because now you get Ian's notes, you get my notes, and I think it's going to be a very unique perspective to see what we agree on, what we disagree on, what things he has seen that I haven't seen, what things I've seen that he hasn't seen. It's absolutely fascinating. So number 2 is checked out. And when Amber Heard tries to argue with Camille Vasquez on cross-examination, and she tries to argue at the jury, like that's when I saw number 2 again. He was just kind of like checked out. It was done. Done. Number 5 is probably Team Depp after today. I'm happy to report. Remember how yesterday I was skeptical? I think she's Vietnamese. I changed my mind. I thought she was Chinese. Scott told me that he has not a source, but an individual who is better at seeing races. Like Asian races, for me, being a Caucasian Westerner, is very difficult to decipher. Like who's Korean, who's Chinese, who's Japanese, who's Vietnamese, who's Filipino. Like all of those are very difficult for me. And sometimes I feel like I know the answer and I maybe jump to conclusions, which you should never do. But sometimes I do that. But he said that she's Vietnamese. So number 5, I think, is Vietnamese, and I think she's now Team Depp. So I'm happy to report. And I need to tweet real quick. I am happy to report that I believe after today, number 5 is hashtag Team Depp. I believe Johnny Depp. That's what I think. How's the poll doing? You guys want to take a look at the poll? Somebody asked that. Let's take a look at the poll. We don't have that many numbers yet, but I'll show you since you've asked. Here we go. So how much money do you think Amber Heard will get if she wins? 6,600 votes in so far. 2% said 100 million. Less than 2% said 50 million. 8% said 25 million. And an overwhelming majority of 87.4% said 0. So even if she wins, she still gets nothing. Even if she wins, she still gets nothing. I mean, that's pretty incredible. That's Twitter for you. I mean, people have been voting on this, and we're going to see. If you guys don't mind, give me just 1 second. I'm going to be right. That was Karen.
Oh yeah, right away.
Yeah.
This is
All right. She was just giving me shit because the internet refers to individuals who are, not very emotionally intelligent as quote unquote Karens. And this lovely woman who has literally given me this home to use, her name is Karen. And it's incongruent. Karens can be good. There's a classic example of a good Karen. Bye, Karen. Thank you.
all the best.
All right. I'll see you soon, I'm sure. Nice to meet you. So Karen has been very gracious. Anyway, so 0% basically. Everybody's $0. Even if she wins, like you do realize, I wrote if she wins. If she wins, how much money is she going to get? If she wins. And people are like 0. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. This is chat. Chat has spoken, and chat is always right. You guys know. Not chat. I'm sorry. This is Twitter, but the public. Public chat, majority vote, all of that stuff. It's all relevant. Okay. 100 and where are we at? What no? How close are we to 200,000? We got to hit 200K, you guys. I can't. I will not be able to end this stream until we get to 200,000. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. We got to go celebrate on Nick's stream. We got to get there, and we can't do it without your help. With all this content that I've been providing you guys. So, all right. At the photo with the bruise. Okay, I already covered that. Where was I? Oh, so yeah. So number five is probably Team Depp after today because of the 2 quotes. That's another thing I have to tweet right now. I'm sorry. Let me just do this real quick. 2 quotes that killed Amber Heard fatally today, and why I am convinced Johnny Depp will win. Number 1, protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did. And 2, when I wrote the op-ed. And that's the quote, right? When I wrote the op-ed. Do you guys remember that when she was talking about the op-ed? Yeah, what the secret is that Johnny was abusing her. That's her secret. But the real secret is that she lied about the allegations. That's the real secret. Why I wrote the op-ed? Is it why I wrote the op-ed? This is why I wrote the op-ed. That's why I wrote the op-ed. Yeah, that's right. I was there. That's why I wrote that. Yeah, that's what she said. That's why I wrote the op-ed. The end. Why the I have a better tweet. You guys are gonna love this. Because people have been asking, why am I so confident that the verdict is going to be for Johnny? Here it is. This is why my opinion has changed and why it's so significantly different now, right here. Share screen, Chrome tab. Here we go. Share right there. There you go. Now you know why. I misspelled Depp. Oopsies. Oh well. There you go. Yeah, I know. Typo. Oh well. Because she joked about it being a show, right? The Johnny Depp show. It's not blurry. No, it's not. You can see it very clearly, as a matter of fact. Even if Depp gets $10, he wins. Look at that. It's going viral. It has literally amassed 500 likes in a minute. I don't even know. Let's look at the stats real quick. I'm curious. Already 1,300 impressions. That's not bad. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Stop sharing. Go back. Okay. How close are we? How close are we? 197, 200 subscribers. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, join on as a member. Oh my God, you guys, 2,500 to go. Whew! Hell yeah. That's incredible. Muffin Squad? No. What's Nick's channel name, please? Ricada Law. Sorry, I keep forgetting. I don't know if not everybody knows. Nick is Ricada. Ricada Law. Okay, just for the record, I love Nick. He has a very particular style and a very particular personality. You're gonna love him, but he has a special taste. So be ready for a lot of fuckery and amazing bashing because he's unapologetic. He takes his fist and he just like rams through the wall. Just be ready for that, okay? Fair warning. I've warned you. And I absolutely love being on his channel. He's very fun to talk to. Absolutely incredible. When I found him and I appeared on his channel and I was asked that balls or no balls question, you guys remember that? And I gave my answer, and apparently I've won over Nick's audience just because of that. I don't know how that happened, but somebody at one point said it was a pretty good one. So whatever, I'll take it. Yeah, yeah, it was good. Wait, Ray Liotta passed away? No. Oh my God. May 26, 2022. Holy shit. Ray Liotta, the guy from Goodfellas. Say it's not so. 67? 67? That's young. At least he died in his sleep, I guess. And he played Johnny Depp's dad in Blow. Yeah. Oh, man. That's not old at all. He's so young. He could have lived another 20 years. Sad. Very, very sad. Let's take a moment of silence for Ray Liotta. Okay. Rest in peace, Ray. All right, where were we? Let's finish this up. We still have a lot to cover. So this is, like I said, this is very dense. This is very dense. Damn, that is so sad. On the Kate Moss testimony, when she starts saying, "Oh, so that was a lie too," Camille Vasquez asks Amber Heard, "So Kate Moss was lying too?" And during that whole testimony, again, I was scribbling like crazy, so I did not get a chance to truly get a full picture on all the jurors and everything. But the jury does not react at all. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's the way it happened," or I wasn't lying," or whatever the hell she said. I don't really give a shit. At that point, all I cared about was the jurors' reactions, and none of them like just stoic. When she kept saying, when Camille Vasquez would ask her a question and Amber Heard will respond with, that is incorrect. She would look at Camille, right? She would look at Camille like, what's your question? And look at the jury. That is not correct. Or she would say, excuse me. Question. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. Question. That is incorrect. Ms. Heard, you da 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 da. That is I was like, okay, for the love of God, stop saying the word incorrect. Number one. Number two, stop using the word incorrect. Not just so many times, but the word itself is so robotic and computer-like. You're supposed to be this survivor, if not victim, survivor of domestic abuse, and you're coming off as this individual who is devoid of all emotion. And all the evidence is to the contrary, that you have suffered at all. And then I have it right here. I have it right here. And I didn't get the that's why. I didn't get the that's why, but I'm going to add it just so I don't forget. That's why I wrote the op-ed and I just added that's why because that's what happened. And as soon as she said those words, as soon as those words came out of her mouth, I believe Camille stopped her cross. Or maybe shortly thereafter, because I don't have any more notes after that on cross. Now on redirect, again, every single question she's being asked, you guys, is like a fucking script. Like it sounds so scripted. It doesn't sound like a person. It looks like someone auditioning for a role on a TV show or a movie. It does not seem like a human being. And it was very, very confusing. So, I don't know. It was very bizarre. And I know she was like that on direct as well, so nothing's changed. Numbers 2 and number 9. Okay, this is huge. This is huge. Numbers 2 and 9 will not make eye contact or even look in Amber Heard's direction. They're like basically just, they look away. They're locked on Rottenborn at one point. I remember that. They were locked in on Rottenborn. And then when the question gets thrown out by Elaine, did Depp abuse you? And she's like, whatever she said, yes, he did, of course, blah, 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 whatever the fuck she said. Who cares? The jury was completely unresponsive. Completely. They just sat there and they were like, no emotional reaction, nobody writing stuff down, nobody looking at her. Shouldn't say that. No, correction. Some of them may have been looking at her. Like number 3 was looking at her. I misspoke. Sorry. Number 3 is not looking at her. I don't remember what the rest were doing. This one is the freshest in my mind because it was the last mental photo that I have in my head of the courtroom scene. And I'm trying to go back and see what I see because I don't have notes on this. It's all in my head. When Amber is kind of like, she's sitting there and the jury's there and she reminds them, yes, I was abused or whatever she says. And the jury's just completely disconnected. You could literally build a wall between the jury and Amber, and you would still have a better connection between the jury and Amber with that wall in place, if that tells you anything. That would be my analogy. Number 9, at that moment, is completely done with Amber Heard. I even wrote it in, here, let me show you guys. This one I have to show you because this is how much emphasis I wanted to place on it. Number 9 is done, like capital letters. I even underlined it. This is literally. Yep. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wait, are people seriously unsubscribing from Legal Bites? Whoa. Wasn't she at like 252? You don't, like I said, you don't have to do that. Like, that's too much. Don't, whatever beef that Legal Bites and I had, it doesn't matter. Myself and James, I thought she was at like 252. She's already at 249. Whoa. Because she attacked me. She, Amber. Legal Bites. You guys, I hate you guys so much. You've been putting stuff into my head. Legal Bites attacked me by saying some things that I went over earlier, and I removed. I basically removed her from the roster of channels that I'm going to be appearing on, and people started unsubscribing from her. So you don't have to do that. I think that's too brutal. That's too much. There's no need for that. She needs the support. Just because I'm never going to appear on her channel again does not mean that she doesn't deserve to grow. So anyway, I mean, she's seen some exponential growth recently, and I wish her nothing but love. But just the way that she approached this whole scenario, I think was completely unnecessary and just improper, because she was basing it on hearsay, not in evidence. I mean, she's a lawyer, right? Is Alita, right? Her name is Alita. She's a lawyer, right? Alita is a lawyer, of course. Alita is a lawyer. She has a right to her own opinion, but it's just the way she approached my situation was not the best way. That's what I was trying to say. That's all. Wait, somebody said something and I'm trying to find it. It may not have. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. How do I search comments on alleged law? Oh, 4 million. That's a good call. That's a good call on the Amber Heard tweet, but that's okay. If gays could talk, this is why I said number 9 is done. Okay, let's finish this up real quick. This is why I said number 9 is done with Amber Heard. He said, oh, excuse me, said, scratch that. Strike that, Your Honor. If gays could talk, number 9 was saying with his gaze, quote, please get this woman out of my courtroom. That's my assessment. And I'm going to write, just because Amber thought it was so hilarious, this concludes the testimony, because I can't say totally. It's just a testimony because we still have closing arguments tomorrow. This concludes the testimony portion of the Johnny Depp show. Stay tuned for arguments tomorrow. Oh, man. She said it. She said it on the stand. I mean, she literally fucked herself completely. Not just with her words. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. Those of you newly coming in here. She completely fucked herself over with the quotes that she made on the stand when she said, protecting the secret that I did for as long as I did. And that's why I wrote the op-ed. Like I said, roll credits, bro. Shit's over. You're done. Yes, I streamed. Crazy stuff. Can't believe we've been doing this for 3 hours. It felt like 5 minutes, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was so entranced by this stream that, let's see. So closings are tomorrow. 5/27, 22. We have closing arguments, and the way our closing arguments are going to be made tomorrow is the following. First goes the plaintiff, so Johnny Depp goes first. Then Amber Heard's lawyers get to state their argument. Then, and I'm guessing Chu is going to do this, Chu is going to do the rebuttal on closing, and then the counterclaim by the lawyers on Amber Heard's side. So it's going to go 1-2, 1-2. Plaintiff defense. Argument rebuttal, surrebuttal, counterclaim argument. So you guys remember I talked about jury nullification? Jury nullification is a concept that allows jurors to ignore the law as given by the judge and enter a verdict that they believe is just with their own personal feelings. I'll give you the most extreme example that you can possibly think of. Let's say every single one of those jurors walks into that room and they go, you guys, Johnny wins. Is anybody still on Amber Heard's side? Like the jurors, right? The 7 of them. So 2 get picked out. 2 are going to get picked out tomorrow at noon at random. I don't care who we lose at this point, honestly. They all seem to be united. Even number 3, I'm sure, he's a sheep. He's gonna follow the crowd. No offense, number 3. I am calling you that for purposes of unity. I'm calling you that not because you're an animal. I'm saying you're going to follow the crowd. I don't feel like, based on your personality, that you have a voice that you're going to try and dominate the conversation. It's a brute word, and I apologize, but it's sometimes in law. This is what we do. We generalize just to make things simpler. So he's a follower. Okay, I'm not going to use the word follower is way better. I'm sorry. He's a follower. Number 3. So I don't think that he's going to take a voice. I already said that either number 8 and 9, 8 or 9 are going to be 4 persons. 8 for sure if she stays on. If she's gone, then it's pretty much either guaranteed to be 9 or it's going to be number 4. So I may even change my answer. I may say it's 8 or 4. And then if they're gone, maybe number 9 or number 7. Okay? Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Hubris is a powerful thing, isn't it? You guys know what I'm talking about. So juror number 5 switched. Juror number 5 switched. All right, let me get to some super chats. M. Lee says, what do you think the verdict will be? Like I said, Johnny Depp, and I think he's going to get about 7 million, more than likely. Hey, DUI guy, hi from Brazil. Can I ask you something? When Amber talked about people telling her to put the kid on the microwave or something like that, how the jury reacted, it was so specific and weird. No reaction at all. The thumbnail wants me to start the Free Whitney movement. I think isn't Whitney complicit in all this? Again, I haven't been following the trial as closely, as I would have liked. So I'm not 100% sure what is the situation with Whitney, to be honest. Wasn't she complicit? So she's helping her. Like if she butted out, that would be one thing. But I don't like that Whitney, yeah, she's defending Amber. Larry, Runkle did stay for, wait. Runkle did stay for jury instructions. They were televised. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh my God, I lost the comment. All right, whatever. Something about televising jury instructions. If you do it in the super chat, I'll see it. The thumbnail wants me. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel bad for Whitney, but she also did it to herself too. I think she's still hoping to get a little bit some of this, but as we all know, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore, based on everything we've seen. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Would you like to meet the jurors after the trial is done to see if your impressions were correct? Oh, I would love to, but it's not going to be possible, unfortunately, because there's a standing order that you can't talk to them for a year. I'm looking forward to Johnny getting his life back and be vindicated. Agreed. Sorry if there are any super chats that I missed. Oh my God, are we at 198? Are you serious? Let me take a look. Wow, we are so close. Holy shit. Also, by the way, let me just take this moment to tell you the amount of work that I'm behind on, the amount of messages I have to sift through over the next few days is staggering. But I'm not complaining. This was an experience. I'm telling you, even James and I on our way back from the courthouse, we were like, hold on a minute. You do realize, again, we agreed, this is the biggest trial since O.J. Simpson. This is the biggest trial since like O.J. Name, okay, let's do a challenge to the chat right now. Name a trial that received as much attention and hype, because Rittenhouse doesn't count. Rittenhouse kind of went over our heads, that received as much attention as Johnny Depp and Amber Heard since OJ. George Floyd was not a trial. Casey Anthony. Oh, that's right. There was Casey Anthony. See, Chad always knows. Michael Jackson, maybe, but Michael Jackson was before my time. When was the Michael Jackson trial? Michael Jackson trial, 2005. I'm sorry. I'll give that to you. O.J. Simpson trial was in 1997. 1997. Oh no, October 1995. 1995 was the criminal verdict. 97 was the civil verdict. Michael Jackson was in 05. Casey Anthony was like in 08, wasn't it? Casey Anthony jury trial. When was Casey Anthony? 2011. 2011. 2011. Okay. All right. That's fair. So 95. Then we have Jackson in 05. Casey Anthony in 11. So, okay. It's been 11 years since Casey Anthony. What one trial? George Zimmerman wasn't that notorious. Wait. Jury number 5 spilled the tea. I already did. I don't know what you're asking me, HM. Have I talked to Runkle about Karen bites? No. Not yet. Is he on our channel right now? All right, let me take a look. Who's streaming right now? I'm about to go on Nick's. I promised I'm going to go on Nick's channel. By the way, chat, let Nick know that I'm coming, okay? By the way, and also, how do I, there's a way, is he live right now? Is Ricada live? Yeah, he's live. Okay. He's live. There's a way to do this. Joe taught me to do this. Community, live, this, customization, redirect, other channels, this, save. Okay. All right, it's going to bleed into Nick's channel after on his way. So let Nick know. I think he already knows. I see his chat is exploding with DUI guy references. So I'm going to be coming there. You know what? I'm not going to wait. It doesn't matter. I didn't reach 200,000 subscribers. Who cares? I'll reach it later. I want to go on Nick's channel. I want to talk to him. I'm close enough as it is. I'm at 199. Hopefully we can celebrate together with Nick. So I thank you guys very much for joining me. I had so much fun doing this. It's not over. We still have one more day. Testimony is done in the Johnny Depp show. Thank you, Amber, for that. Hashtag Johnny Depp show, apparently. But tomorrow we have closing arguments. And tomorrow the case will be handed off to the jury. 2 alternates will be picked. And 7 people will go back to deliberate. So very excited. And I love every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. We at one point had over 30,000 concurrent viewers for a second day in a row. Considering the fact that about 2 weeks ago, the most I've ever had on my channel was 450 people total ever. And 3 days ago on Tuesday, I think it was, I had 13,000, and yesterday I had 30, and today I had 30. So you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the broadcast, and you'll be transferred over to Nick's channel.